Have you ever felt like your happiness is tied to someone else? That your peace, your joy, even your purpose hinge on how others treat you, what they think of you, or what role they play in your life? It's as if your emotional well-being is a puppet and someone else holds the strings. It's exhausting, isn't it? You start questioning yourself. Why do I feel empty without them? Or, what if I'm not enough on my own? But here's the truth that no one talks about enough. You are already complete. Yes, you heard that right. You're not waiting for someone to fix you, rescue you, or validate your existence. You don't need a rescuer, a partner, or applause from the crowd to prove your worth. The strength, peace, and happiness you've been searching for are already within you. The journey is about uncovering it, not acquiring it. Let's flip the script on everything we've been conditioned to believe. Society often tells us we're incomplete without external factors, a partner to love us, a friend to support us, or a career to define us. And, while relationships and achievements are beautiful aspects of life, they should never become the sole foundation of who you are. You don't need anyone else to complete you because you are not a half-built structure. You are the architect of your life, and the blueprints have been in your hands all along. This isn't about shutting the world out. It's about building a solid inner foundation so strong that even if the world wobbles, you stay upright. It's about walking through life with confidence, knowing you are enough, regardless of who comes or goes. And once you realize that, you'll experience a freedom so profound that it's like stepping into a whole new way of living. Now, let me share a story. Not a grand, movie-worthy tale, but one you'll likely find yourself nodding along to, because in some way, it's all our story. Meet Daniel. He's the kind of person you'd describe as a people-pleaser, always there when you need him, but never quite there for himself. If you've ever known someone like Daniel, you know the type. The one who says yes, even when his heart screams no. The one who measures his worth by the gratitude of others, living as though every favor he does adds a brick to a house he'll never own. For years, Daniel lived his life like this. When his co-workers needed someone to cover a shift, he was their go-to. When his friends needed a ride, a loan, or a shoulder to cry on, he was always just one call away. It felt good at first. Being needed gave him purpose. But slowly, it began to eat away at him. You see, Daniel had a dream. He loved photography. It wasn't just a hobby. It was the thing that lit his soul on fire. But whenever he tried to carve out time for his passion, something or someone demanded his attention. A friend's crisis, a family obligation, a deadline at work. It never ended. And every time he put his camera down to be there for someone else, a little piece of his joy crumbled. One evening, after a particularly draining day, Daniel sat in his tiny apartment surrounded by half-finished projects and a camera he hadn't touched in months. He looked at the clock. It was 9 p.m. Another day spent doing everything for everyone else, but nothing for himself. For the first time, he allowed himself to ask, "When was the last time I did something for me?" The answer hit him harder than he expected. He couldn't remember. That was his wake-up call. He didn't need to cut people out of his life. He needed to cut the strings they had tied to him, the strings that made his mood, his self-worth, and his happiness dependent on their approval or gratitude. Daniel realized he wasn't anyone's puppet. He didn't need their validation to live his life fully, but breaking free wouldn't be easy. It would require unlearning habits that had been with him for years. The next day, Daniel made a promise to himself. He wasn't going to become selfish or unkind, but he would prioritize his own well-being. he started small. When a friend asked him for a favor that he knew would disrupt his weekend plans, he respectfully declined. His voice trembled as he said, "I'm sorry, I can't this time." But he said it anyway. And you know what happened? The world didn't fall apart. His friend found someone else to help, and Daniel spent his weekend wandering through the city with his camera, capturing moments he had forgotten how much he loved. It wasn't always smooth sailing. Saying no didn't always feel good. There were days when guilt crept in, whispering that he wasn't doing enough. But every time that guilt surfaced, Daniel reminded himself of something he had learned from reading Stoic philosophy. You have control over your actions, not how others respond to them. The more he practiced setting boundaries, the more he realized how much of his time and energy he had been giving away to people who often didn't even notice. And as he reclaimed that time, something incredible happened. He rediscovered himself. The man who loved photography. The man who enjoyed quiet evenings with a good book. The man who didn't need anyone's permission to pursue what made him happy. Today, Daniel isn't the same man he was a year ago. His relationships are still important to him, but they no longer define him. He still helps others, but not at the expense of himself. And most importantly, he's learned to be at peace with himself. He takes his camera out every weekend, not because someone told him to, but because it brings him joy. Daniel isn't extraordinary. He's not a superhero or a sage. He's just a man who decided to take control of his own life. And if Daniel can do it, so can you. The truth is, we're all a little like Daniel. We've all felt the weight of expectations, the pull of needing to please, and the sting of feeling unappreciated. But here's the good news. You don't have to live like that. You can choose differently. You can choose to break free from the need to rely on others for your happiness, your sense of worth, or your peace. This isn't about becoming detached or shutting people out. It's about building a life so rich and fulfilling from the inside that even if the world turns its back, you'll still have everything you need. Because you've learned the most important lesson of all, that your happiness isn't someone else's job. It's yours. This journey won't happen overnight. It will take patience, practice, and courage. But every step you take toward emotional independence is a step toward a life where you wake up each morning not needing anyone to validate your existence. And when you reach that place, you'll understand something that Daniel learned along the way. True freedom isn't about being alone. It's about knowing you're whole, no matter who's with you. Now, are you ready to start your journey? Life often feels like a puzzle missing its final piece, and we're told that the missing fragment lies in someone else's hands. A partner, a job, a goal. Something external that once achieved or obtained will finally make us feel whole. But what if that missing piece doesn't exist at all? What if the puzzle was already complete, waiting for us to see it for what it truly is? This shift in perspective is not only liberating, but foundational to a life of true peace. Let's explore this idea in depth and uncover why you are already whole and how the myth of external completion has kept so many trapped in cycles of unnecessary longing. This chase creates an endless loop, a hunger that's never fully satisfied. People are conditioned to believe that their happiness hinges on achieving something they don't yet have, or worse, becoming someone they are not. But this pursuit is flawed. Happiness cannot be earned through external circumstances because it is not a prize, it is a state of being. The illusion of external completion is built on the belief that something outside of ourselves has the power to fix what feels broken within. It's why so many people cling to relationships, even unhealthy ones, because they fear loneliness. It's why someone can achieve immense professional success, yet still feel empty. The problem isn't a lack of external achievements. It's the internal misunderstanding of what truly creates fulfillment. When people pin their happiness on external factors, they become vulnerable. The job they worked so hard to get might be taken away. The partner they rely on for emotional stability might leave. The admiration of others can turn into criticism. And when these external pillars crumble, so does the fragile sense of self that was built on them. This is why relying on external sources for completion is not just a flawed mindset, it's a dangerous one. To move beyond this myth, it's essential to recognize that happiness is not something given by the world, but something cultivated from within. The Stoics understood this deeply, teaching that the key to peace and fulfillment lies in mastering the self, rather than controlling the uncontrollable. By focusing inward, we can break free from the endless chase for external validation and discover the profound truth: we are already enough. Internal wholeness begins with the realization that we are not incomplete, but rather conditioned to believe we are. The world profits off our insecurities. Advertisers thrive on making us feel that a certain product will make us more attractive, successful, or worthy. Social media amplifies the myth by showcasing curated versions of others' lives, making it easy to believe that everyone else has found the key to happiness. This creates a false comparison, as if everyone else has the missing puzzle piece that you're still searching for. What people often fail to recognize is that true happiness comes from living in alignment with their values, not from achieving external goals. Success, relationships, and recognition can enhance life, but are not the foundation of it. Fulfillment is found in the quiet confidence of knowing you are enough, regardless of circumstances. This doesn't mean complacency or avoiding growth. It means pursuing goals from a place of wholeness rather than deficiency. When someone stops seeking happiness externally, they begin to experience life differently. Relationships become about connection rather than dependency. Work becomes a way to express creativity and contribute, not a source of identity. Challenges become opportunities for growth rather than threats to self-worth. The entire perspective shifts from lack to abundance. One of the most freeing realizations is understanding that happiness and fulfillment are already within you. They are not unlocked by someone else or something else. They are revealed when you stop seeking them outside of yourself. This shift is not about giving up on dreams or goals, but about reframing them. Instead of pursuing achievements to fill a void, you pursue them as an expression of who you already are. This internal shift requires letting go of the idea that someone or something else will save you. It's about taking full responsibility for your happiness and well-being. While this might feel daunting, it's incredibly empowering. No one else holds the key to your joy. No external circumstance can dictate your peace. You have the ability to create a life that feels meaningful and whole, regardless of what's happening around you. The myth of external completion thrives on the fear of being alone or insufficient. It whispers lies that we are not enough, that our value is tied to others' approval or external measures of success. To overcome this, it's essential to develop a deep sense of self-worth that is unshakable. This self-worth doesn't come from achievements or accolades. It comes from recognizing your inherent value as a human being. One of the most practical ways to cultivate this sense of internal completeness is through gratitude. Gratitude shifts the focus from what's lacking to what's already present. By appreciating what you have, you create a mindset of abundance which diminishes the need to seek fulfillment outside yourself. It's not about denying the challenges or hardships of life, but about finding the beauty and blessings that coexist with them. Another critical aspect of breaking free from the myth is practicing presence. When people constantly chase what's next, they miss what's now. The present moment is the only place where happiness can truly exist. Learning to fully experience and appreciate the present eliminates the illusion that joy is always somewhere in the future. The more grounded you are in the now, the less power the myth of external completion has over you. Self-reflection is also key to unraveling this myth. Taking time to explore your beliefs, values, and desires allows you to understand yourself on a deeper level. This understanding helps you differentiate between what truly matters and what is noise. It reveals the areas where you've been chasing external solutions to internal questions. Through reflection, you gain clarity and insight that guide you toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. Breaking free from the myth of external completion doesn't mean cutting yourself off from relationships or achievements. It means approaching them from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. Relationships become richer when they are built on mutual respect and connection rather than dependency. Goals become more meaningful when they are pursued as expressions of who you are rather than attempts to prove your worth. It's also essential to recognize that fulfillment is not a constant state. Life will always bring challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But when you understand that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, you develop resilience. You can navigate the highs and lows of life without losing your sense of self. Ultimately, the myth of external completion is just that, a myth. It's a story we've been told, but it's not the truth. The truth is that you are already whole. You don't need anyone or anything to complete you because you were never incomplete to begin with. When you fully embrace this, you unlock a freedom and peace that transforms how you experience life. This isn't an easy journey, but it's one worth taking. The path to realizing your wholeness requires courage, introspection, and the willingness to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs. But the reward is profound. You'll discover that everything you've been searching for has been within you all along. And when you see this clearly, you'll no longer be bound by the myth of external completion. You'll be free to live a life that feels true, whole, and uniquely yours. When you begin to understand that you are already whole, a natural question arises. How do you maintain that sense of completeness in a world that constantly pulls you in different directions? Life is unpredictable, and people, circumstances, and emotions can create storms that shake even the strongest foundations. This is where emotional independence becomes the key to sustaining your inner peace. Emotional independence is not about shutting others out. It's about standing firm in the face of life's uncertainties and knowing that your stability comes from within. It's the superpower that allows you to engage with the world fully while remaining unshaken by its chaos. Let's explore what it means to cultivate this strength and how it transforms the way you experience life. The idea of emotional independence often gets misunderstood. Many associate it with isolation or detachment, but it's quite the opposite. Emotional independence is about learning to navigate your inner world so effectively that you can connect with others more authentically without losing yourself. It's about being grounded in your emotions without being controlled by them. When you rely too heavily on others for emotional support, you give away your power. This doesn't mean you shouldn't seek comfort or advice from loved ones, but there's a difference between sharing your journey and depending on someone else to carry you through it. The first empowers you, the second leaves you vulnerable. Building emotional independence starts with understanding the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is impulsive and often driven by external triggers. When someone criticizes you, for example, a reactive mindset might cause you to lash out or spiral into self-doubt. Response, on the other hand, is deliberate and comes from a place of inner stability. It's the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your actions consciously. This shift from reaction to response is one of the most powerful steps toward emotional independence. It requires cultivating awareness of your emotions and creating space between the stimulus and your action. One effective way to practice this is by developing a habit of emotional journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings without judgment allows you to observe patterns and triggers in your emotional responses. Over time, this awareness helps you separate fleeting emotions from deeper truths. When you understand why you feel a certain way, you can address the root cause rather than reacting to the symptom. This not only strengthens your emotional independence, but also deepens your relationship with yourself. Another crucial aspect of emotional independence is learning to embrace discomfort. Many people rely on others to soothe their discomfort because they fear sitting with difficult emotions. This avoidance only perpetuates dependency. Instead, allow yourself to experience discomfort fully. Whether it's sadness, frustration, or anxiety, these emotions are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. The more you practice facing them without seeking external validation or distraction, the more resilient you become. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding pain. It means growing stronger through it. To cultivate this resilience, adopt a mindset rooted in the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control. Focus your energy on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and release attachment to what you cannot. This simple yet profound practice shifts your perspective from powerlessness to empowerment. When you stop trying to control others or external outcomes, you reclaim the energy to manage your inner world. This clarity reduces the emotional turbulence caused by things outside your control. Self-trust is another cornerstone of emotional independence. Trusting yourself means believing in your ability to handle life's challenges without needing constant reassurance. Self-trust isn't built overnight. It's a muscle strengthened through consistent practice. Start by keeping promises to yourself, no matter how small. Whether it's committing to a morning routine, setting boundaries, or pursuing a personal goal, honoring your word to yourself builds confidence. Each time you follow through on your intentions, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. In moments of doubt, reconnecting with your values is a powerful way to anchor yourself. Values act as a compass, guiding your decisions and helping you stay grounded when emotions threaten to overwhelm. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, what action aligns with my values? This question shifts your focus from the intensity of the moment to the bigger picture, allowing you to act with integrity rather than reacting impulsively. Living in alignment with your values strengthens your sense of self and reduces reliance on external validation. Emotional independence also involves letting go of the need for others to validate your feelings. Seeking understanding or empathy is natural, but placing your emotional well-being in someone else's hands creates dependency. Practice affirming your emotions yourself. If you feel hurt or disappointed, acknowledge those feelings without needing someone else to validate them. This doesn't mean isolating yourself, but rather taking ownership of your emotional experiences. The more you validate your own feelings, the less power others have to destabilize you. A vital part of emotional independence is maintaining healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but guidelines that protect your well-being. They help you preserve your energy and ensure that your relationships are based on mutual respect. Establishing boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to prioritizing others over yourself. However, each time you set a boundary, you affirm your worth and teach others how to treat you. Boundaries also create the emotional space necessary for self-growth, allowing you to navigate life with greater clarity and confidence. Mindfulness is another essential practice for cultivating emotional independence. When you're mindful, you become fully present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice creates a sense of inner calm that acts as a buffer against emotional turbulence. Instead of being swept away by a wave of emotions, mindfulness allows you to ride it with awareness and grace. Over time, mindfulness strengthens your ability to respond to life's challenges from a place of stability rather than reactivity. Gratitude is another tool that fosters emotional independence. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. When you cultivate a habit of gratitude, you create an emotional foundation rooted in appreciation rather than need. This doesn't mean denying your struggles, but rather recognizing the blessings that coexist with them. Gratitude reduces reliance on external sources for happiness because it trains your mind to find joy in the present moment. Another powerful way to build emotional independence is by practicing solitude. Solitude is not loneliness. It's the intentional act of being alone with yourself. In solitude, you gain clarity, reconnect with your inner voice, and develop a deeper understanding of your needs and desires. This practice strengthens your ability to self-soothe and find peace within, reducing the need to seek constant reassurance from others. Solitude also enhances your creativity and problem-solving skills, making you more resourceful and self-reliant. As you cultivate emotional independence, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. They become more balanced and fulfilling because you're no longer approaching them from a place of neediness. Instead, you engage with others as a whole person, capable of giving and receiving without losing yourself. Emotional independence empowers you to love more deeply because it frees you from the fear of losing yourself in the process. The journey toward emotional independence requires patience and self-compassion. There will be moments when old patterns resurface, and that's okay. Growth is not linear, and setbacks are part of the process. Each time you choose to face your emotions, set a boundary, or act in alignment with your values, you take another step toward freedom. The key is to keep moving forward, trusting that each effort brings you closer to a life of inner peace and strength. When you master emotional independence, you unlock a profound sense of freedom. You no longer depend on others to stabilize your emotions because you've built a solid foundation within yourself. This doesn't mean you don't value connections with others. It means those connections enhance your life rather than define it. Emotional independence allows you to engage with the world fully while maintaining your inner balance. It's the superpower that transforms how you experience life, giving you the strength to navigate its challenges with resilience and grace. Emotional independence lays the foundation for a powerful transformation. When you no longer rely on others to regulate your feelings or validate your worth, you uncover a deep reservoir of strength. But independence alone isn't enough to create a fulfilling life. It needs a counterpart, something that turns solitude into richness and quiet moments into profound experiences. This next step is about embracing your own company, building a connection with yourself so fulfilling that you no longer seek external distractions to fill the gaps. Let's dive into the art of self-companionship and learn how to become your own best friend. Self-companionship is one of the most undervalued skills in the modern world. People are taught to value relationships with others, but are rarely encouraged to nurture the relationship with themselves. Yet this connection is the most enduring one you will ever have. From birth to your final moments, you are your only constant companion. Neglecting this relationship can leave you feeling lost, even in the presence of others, while strengthening it can bring a profound sense of peace and contentment. The first step in cultivating self-companionship is shifting the way you perceive solitude. Many see being alone as a sign of loneliness or a gap to be filled with external validation. But solitude is not an absence. It's a presence, a space where you can meet yourself without distractions. In solitude, you can uncover your thoughts, desires, and emotions without the noise of external influences. This quiet space allows you to hear your inner voice clearly and connect with who you truly are. Building this connection begins with embracing stillness. In a world that celebrates constant activity, stillness can feel foreign, even uncomfortable. But within stillness lies the opportunity to explore your inner landscape. Start with moments of quiet reflection, free from distractions. Whether it's sitting in nature, meditating, or simply enjoying a cup of tea without a phone or conversation, these moments allow you to reconnect with yourself. Stillness isn't about doing nothing. It's about being present with yourself. One powerful practice for cultivating self-companionship is self-dialogue. This isn't about speaking out loud, although you can if it helps. It's about engaging with your thoughts and emotions in a supportive way. When you experience doubt, anxiety, or joy, address yourself as you would a close friend. Offer encouragement, empathy, and honesty. Self-dialogue helps you develop a habit of listening to and understanding yourself, deepening your relationship with who you are. Another essential element of self-companionship is learning to enjoy your own company. Many people feel uncomfortable spending time alone, often rushing to fill the void with social interactions or distractions. But learning to find joy in your own presence is transformative. Start by doing things you genuinely enjoy alone. Read a book, take a walk, explore a hobby, or try a new activity. These moments of solo enjoyment teach you that your company is not only sufficient, but also enriching. Self-companionship also involves acknowledging and embracing your imperfections. Too often, people are their harshest critics, holding themselves to impossible standards and focusing on their flaws. But being a good companion to yourself means offering the same compassion and acceptance you would give to a friend. Instead of berating yourself for mistakes, recognize them as opportunities for growth. Instead of fixating on what you lack, celebrate what makes you unique. This shift in perspective fosters a sense of belonging within yourself. Gratitude is another cornerstone of self-companionship. While gratitude is often directed outward, toward others or circumstances, it's equally important to express gratitude toward yourself. Acknowledge your efforts, resilience, and the ways you show up for yourself daily. This practice reinforces your sense of self-worth and strengthens the bond you have with yourself. Gratitude also shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, helping you find contentment within. Cultivating self-companionship also requires setting boundaries with others. While it's important to maintain relationships, constantly prioritizing others' needs over your own can erode your connection with yourself. Setting boundaries creates the space necessary to nurture your well-being and engage in self-reflection. It's not about shutting people out, but about ensuring that your needs are met alongside theirs. Boundaries reinforce the message that your time and energy are valuable, deepening your sense of self-respect. Exploring creativity is another powerful way to enhance self-companionship. Creativity isn't limited to artistic pursuits. It's about engaging in activities that allow you to express yourself and explore your inner world. Writing, painting, cooking, gardening, or even problem-solving can be deeply fulfilling when approached as acts of self-expression. Creative activities connect you with your unique perspective and remind you of the richness within. To further deepen self-companionship, practice self-awareness. This involves paying attention to your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. Self-awareness helps you understand your patterns, identify what brings you joy or discomfort, and recognize areas for growth. By developing a habit of self-awareness, you build a deeper connection with yourself and gain insight into what truly matters to you. This awareness is a foundation for living authentically. Another important aspect of self-companionship is self-care. Self-care goes beyond physical well-being. It encompasses emotional, mental, and spiritual nourishment. Taking time to care for yourself sends a powerful message that you are worth the effort. Whether it's practicing mindfulness, engaging in physical activity, pursuing a passion, or simply resting when needed, self-care strengthens your relationship with yourself. It reminds you that you're deserving of kindness and care, both from others and from yourself. Forgiveness is another vital component of self-companionship. Many people carry guilt or resentment toward themselves for past mistakes. This emotional burden can create a rift in the relationship you have with yourself. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning mistakes, but rather releasing the hold they have over you. When you forgive yourself, you create space for healing and growth. It's an act of compassion that allows you to move forward without the weight of self-judgment. Learning to trust yourself is essential for cultivating self-companionship. Trust is built through consistency and honesty. When you make a commitment to yourself, whether it's a goal, a boundary, or a promise, honor it. Each time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. Trusting yourself creates a sense of security and stability that enhances your connection with who you are. A meaningful practice for strengthening self-companionship is celebrating your successes, no matter how small. Recognizing your achievements, whether it's completing a task, overcoming a challenge, or simply showing up for yourself, reinforces your sense of worth. Celebrating yourself doesn't require grand gestures. It's about acknowledging your efforts and appreciating the journey. These moments of celebration remind you that you are your own greatest ally. As you nurture self-companionship, you'll notice a profound shift in how you experience life. Relationships become less about filling a void and more about mutual enrichment. External achievements become expressions of your inner fulfillment rather than validations of your worth. Challenges become opportunities for growth rather than threats to your stability. The connection you build with yourself becomes the foundation for a life of authenticity and peace. Self-companionship is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to explore your inner world. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you become your own best friend, you discover a wellspring of contentment and strength that no external source can provide. You learn that you are never truly alone because you always have yourself. This realization transforms solitude into richness and self-reliance into empowerment. The art of self-companionship is not just a skill, it's a way of being that allows you to navigate life with confidence, joy, and an unshakable sense of wholeness. Self-companionship brings a sense of peace and connection within yourself, but there is a deeper layer to uncover. This layer is not filled with words or actions. It exists in the quiet spaces we often overlook. It is in the silence where the most profound truths reside. Silence is not an emptiness. It is a presence. It is a teacher patiently waiting to guide you toward clarity and understanding. In stillness, you meet your true self, unfiltered and unburdened. Let's journey into the transformative power of silence and discover how it can illuminate your path to understanding your deepest needs. Silence is often misunderstood as a void to be filled. In a world that values constant activity and noise, quiet moments can feel unsettling, even uncomfortable. But silence is not a lack of sound. It is an opportunity to listen more deeply. It is a space where the mind finds clarity and the heart uncovers its truth. When you allow silence into your life, you create a sanctuary for self-discovery and healing. The first gift of silence is its ability to calm the storm of thoughts that often overwhelm the mind. Throughout the day, your mind is bombarded with information, decisions, and distractions. This mental clutter can cloud your judgment and disconnect you from your inner wisdom. Silence offers a pause, a moment to breathe and reset. It allows you to step back from the chaos and observe your thoughts without judgment. In this stillness, you can separate the noise from what truly matters. To harness the power of silence, start by setting aside small pockets of quiet time each day. These moments don't have to be long. Even 5 minutes of uninterrupted stillness can make a difference. During this time, focus on your breath and let your thoughts settle naturally. You may find that as the surface noise quiets, deeper insights begin to emerge. This practice strengthens your ability to connect with your inner self and fosters a sense of peace. Silence also teaches you to be present. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in the past or worry about the future. Silence anchors you to the here and now, the only place where life truly unfolds. When you embrace the present moment, you gain a greater appreciation for its beauty and richness. This presence extends to all areas of life, helping you approach challenges with clarity and relationships with authenticity. Another profound lesson silence offers is self-acceptance. In stillness, there is no one to impress, no expectations to meet, and no distractions to hide behind. You are left with your raw, unfiltered self. This can feel vulnerable at first, but it is also liberating. Silence invites you to accept yourself as you are, without judgment or comparison. This acceptance creates a foundation of self-love and resilience that carries you through life's ups and downs. Silence also enhances your ability to listen, not just to yourself, but to others. In conversations, people often focus on what they want to say next, rather than truly hearing the other person. Silence teaches the art of listening deeply and empathetically. By practicing silence, you cultivate patience and understanding, strengthening your relationships and fostering meaningful connections. The stillness of silence also provides clarity in decision-making. When faced with choices, the mind can become cluttered with opinions, fears, and doubts. Silence allows you to strip away these distractions and tune into your intuition. It creates a space where you can weigh your options with calmness and confidence. Decisions made from this place of clarity are more aligned with your values and true desires. One of the most transformative aspects of silence is its ability to heal. Emotional wounds, unresolved conflicts, and unprocessed experiences often linger beneath the surface, masked by the busyness of life. Silence brings these hidden aspects to light, allowing you to face and release them. This process can be uncomfortable, but is ultimately freeing. Through silence, you create space for healing and growth. In addition to emotional healing, silence nurtures creativity. In the absence of external noise, your mind is free to wander and explore. Many creative breakthroughs occur in moments of stillness, when ideas flow effortlessly. Whether it's writing, painting, problem-solving, or daydreaming, silence provides the fertile ground for creativity to flourish. By embracing quiet moments, you unlock the potential for innovation and self-expression. Silence also connects you to something greater than yourself. Whether you call it nature, the universe, or spirituality, silence creates a bridge to the vastness beyond your individual experience. In stillness, you sense the interconnectedness of all things and find a deeper purpose. This connection instills a sense of awe and gratitude, enriching your life with meaning and wonder. Practicing silence doesn't require drastic changes or isolated retreats. It can be woven into your daily life in simple, accessible ways. Start your mornings with a few moments of quiet reflection before the day begins. Take a walk in nature without headphones or distractions. End your day with silent gratitude, reflecting on what went well. These practices integrate silence into your routine, making it a natural part of your life. Silence is also a powerful tool for managing stress and anxiety. When the mind is overwhelmed, silence acts as a balm, soothing the restless chatter and bringing a sense of calm. By regularly engaging with silence, you build resilience to stress and cultivate a mindset of equanimity. This inner stability helps you navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Another profound gift of silence is its ability to deepen your sense of self-awareness. In the quiet, you can observe your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with clarity. This awareness reveals patterns and tendencies that might otherwise go unnoticed. By understanding yourself more deeply, you can make intentional choices that align with your values and aspirations. Self-awareness gained through silence is a cornerstone of personal growth and authenticity. Silence also strengthens your relationship with time. In a culture that glorifies busyness, silence reminds you that slowing down is not a waste. It's a necessity. By pausing, you regain a sense of control over your time and energy. You learn to prioritize what truly matters and let go of unnecessary distractions. This intentional approach to time brings a sense of balance and fulfillment. As you deepen your practice of silence, you may notice its ripple effects on other areas of your life. Your interactions become more thoughtful, your work more focused, and your experiences more meaningful. Silence cultivates a sense of presence and purpose that permeates every aspect of your existence. The power of silence lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require effort or complexity. It simply asks you to be present and receptive. Yet its impact is profound, transforming the way you see yourself and the world. Through silence, you gain clarity, heal wounds, spark creativity, and connect with a deeper sense of purpose. Embracing silence is not about retreating from life, but engaging with it more fully. It is a practice of turning inward to find the answers and strength that have always been within you. In the stillness, you discover who you are and what truly matters. Silence becomes your teacher, guiding you toward a life of clarity, peace, and authenticity. This is the gift of stillness, a gift that is always available, waiting for you to unwrap it. Silence teaches you to listen to your inner voice, revealing what truly matters. In that quiet clarity, you start to recognize the weight of obligations, distractions, and the demands of others. This awareness raises an essential question. How do you protect the peace you've worked so hard to cultivate? The answer lies in mastering one of the simplest yet most transformative tools at your disposal: the ability to say no. Far from being a rejection of others, saying no is an affirmation of yourself, a boundary that shields your time, energy, and mental well-being. Let's explore how this practice can profoundly reshape your life. Saying no often carries an emotional burden, rooted in fear of disappointing others or being seen as selfish. This fear can lead to overcommitment, resentment, and a sense of losing control over your own life. Yet, saying yes to everything is not an act of kindness. It's a slow erosion of your priorities and well-being. When you agree to things that conflict with your values or stretch you too thin, you betray your own needs in favor of external expectations. Reclaiming your power begins with understanding that no is not a negative word. It is a tool for preserving your peace and living authentically. The first step in embracing the freedom of saying no is recognizing its value. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you are saying yes to something more meaningful: your well-being, your goals, and your inner peace. This shift in perspective transforms no from a rejection into a boundary that protects what truly matters. It is not a denial of others, but an affirmation of your own worth and needs. Learning to say no requires clarity about your values and priorities. When you are clear on what matters most to you, it becomes easier to recognize when a request conflicts with those priorities. This clarity acts as a compass, guiding your decisions and helping you navigate situations where the pressure to say yes is strong. When you know what you stand for, your boundaries become an extension of your identity, not just arbitrary decisions. One of the most empowering aspects of saying no is the space it creates. Overcommitment often leaves little room for rest, creativity, or self-reflection. By saying no to unnecessary obligations, you reclaim time and energy to focus on what truly nourishes you. This space is not idle. It is an investment in your well-being and personal growth. It allows you to engage with life fully, without the constant pull of competing demands. Setting boundaries and saying no also foster healthier relationships. When you prioritize your well-being, you model self-respect and encourage others to do the same. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not on one-sided sacrifices. By being honest about your limits, you create a foundation of trust and authenticity. People who value you will appreciate your honesty, even if it means declining a request. A practical approach to saying no is learning how to do it gracefully. Declining an offer or request doesn't require rudeness or defensiveness. A simple, clear, and respectful no is often enough. Phrases like, "I appreciate the invitation, but I'm not available," or "Thank you for thinking of me, but I have to pass this time," communicate your decision without unnecessary explanation or guilt. This approach reinforces your boundary while maintaining respect for the other person. One of the most significant challenges of saying no is managing guilt. Society often equates saying no with selfishness, creating a sense of obligation to please others at the expense of your own needs. Overcoming this guilt involves reframing your perspective. Saying no is not a refusal to help. It is a recognition of your limits and a commitment to protecting your peace. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and prioritizing your well-being is essential for showing up fully in the areas of life that matter most. Saying no also strengthens your ability to focus. When you reduce distractions and obligations that don't align with your goals, you create the mental and emotional space to channel your energy into what truly matters. Focus is a finite resource, and every yes consumes a portion of it. By saying no strategically, you protect your focus and ensure that your efforts are directed toward meaningful pursuits. Another transformative aspect of saying no is the confidence it builds. Each time you assert your boundaries, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and agency. Confidence grows from the consistent practice of honoring your needs and values, even when it feels uncomfortable. Over time, this confidence becomes a natural part of who you are, enabling you to navigate life with greater ease and authenticity. Saying no also liberates you from the fear of missing out. FOMO often drives people to say yes to activities or commitments that don't truly resonate with them, out of a fear of being left out or missing opportunities. Embracing no as a tool for alignment helps you focus on what genuinely enriches your life, rather than chasing every possibility. This shift brings a sense of contentment and fulfillment, free from the constant pull of comparison or external expectations. The practice of saying no also deepens your relationship with yourself. Each no is an act of self-care, a declaration that your time and energy are valuable. This self-respect strengthens your inner foundation and reinforces the understanding that you are not defined by others' opinions or expectations. By prioritizing your needs, you cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness and alignment with your values. Saying no is not about shutting others out. It's about creating a balance that allows you to engage with the world authentically. When you set boundaries, you create space for the things that truly matter, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing personal goals, or simply resting. This balance is essential for maintaining a sense of peace and fulfillment. Over time, the practice of saying no becomes a natural extension of your self-awareness and confidence. It no longer feels like a confrontation or a rejection, but a simple expression of your truth. This shift transforms your relationship with others and with yourself, creating a life that feels more aligned, intentional, and fulfilling. The freedom of saying no is a profound act of self-empowerment. It is a declaration that your peace, priorities, and well-being are worth protecting. By embracing this practice, you create a life that reflects your values and aspirations, free from the weight of unnecessary obligations. This is the power of no, a tool for preserving your peace, honoring your worth, and living authentically. Saying no is a powerful act of self-respect, a declaration of your boundaries and priorities. Yet, even with clear boundaries, there's another challenge to overcome: trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values. Self-trust is the foundation upon which every other aspect of your life is built. Without it, doubts creep in, second-guessing takes over, and even the strongest boundaries begin to waver. Mastering self-trust is about becoming your own best advisor, confident in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties with wisdom and clarity. Let's explore how this transformative practice can reshape your relationship with yourself and the world. Self-trust begins with acknowledging your inherent ability to make decisions. Doubt often arises from the fear of failure or the pressure to meet others' expectations, leading to hesitation and reliance on external validation. But the truth is, no one else understands your journey, values, and desires better than you do. Building self-trust means shifting your focus inward, away from the noise of opinions, and toward your own inner guidance. One of the first steps in mastering self-trust is recognizing the difference between intuition and impulsivity. Intuition is a quiet, steady voice that arises from your values, experiences, and inner wisdom. Impulsivity, on the other hand, is driven by fleeting emotions or external pressures. Learning to discern between the two is key to making decisions that align with your authentic self. This requires practice, reflection, and patience, but over time, you'll develop a deeper connection to your intuition. Developing self-trust also involves embracing the possibility of mistakes. Perfectionism often erodes self-trust, creating a fear of making the wrong choice. But mistakes are not failures, they are opportunities for growth and learning. Each decision, whether it leads to success or a lesson, strengthens your ability to navigate future challenges. By reframing mistakes as valuable experiences, you reduce the fear of taking risks and reinforce your confidence in your decision-making abilities. Another important aspect of self-trust is consistency. Following through on commitments to yourself, no matter how small, builds a sense of reliability and accountability. Whether it's sticking to a morning routine, pursuing a personal goal, or honoring your boundaries, each act of consistency reinforces the belief that you can rely on yourself. This trust becomes a cornerstone of your self-worth and resilience. Self-awareness is also essential for cultivating self-trust. Taking time to reflect on your values, strengths, and aspirations helps you understand what truly matters to you. This clarity allows you to make decisions that are aligned with your authentic self rather than influenced by external expectations. Self-awareness also helps you recognize patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, empowering you to make intentional choices that support your growth and well-being. Practicing mindfulness enhances self-trust by grounding you in the present moment. When you are fully present, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating space for clarity and intentionality. Mindfulness reduces the noise of doubt and fear, allowing you to connect with your inner wisdom. This practice strengthens your ability to trust your instincts and make decisions with confidence. Setting boundaries with yourself is another critical component of self-trust. Just as boundaries with others protect your peace and priorities, personal boundaries help you maintain discipline and focus. For example, setting limits on distractions or negative self-talk reinforces your commitment to your well-being and goals. These boundaries create a structure within which self-trust can flourish, reminding you that you are in control of your actions and choices. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for strengthening self-trust. Holding on to guilt or regret for past decisions undermines your confidence and keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. Forgiving yourself allows you to release the emotional weight of the past and move forward with greater clarity and purpose. It is an act of self-compassion that reinforces your belief in your ability to learn and grow. Another way to cultivate self-trust is by celebrating your successes, no matter how small. Acknowledging your achievements reminds you of your capabilities and reinforces your confidence in your decisions. These celebrations don't have to be elaborate. Even a moment of gratitude or a journal entry recognizing your progress can strengthen your self-trust. Over time, this practice shifts your focus from doubt to self-assurance. Building self-trust also requires tuning out the noise of external validation. While seeking advice or feedback can be valuable, over-reliance on others' opinions can weaken your connection to your own judgment. Trusting yourself means valuing your perspective above all else. It's about respecting your inner voice and recognizing that you have the wisdom to make choices that align with your values and aspirations. Learning to trust yourself involves cultivating patience. Self-trust doesn't develop overnight. It grows through consistent practice and reflection. There will be moments of doubt and uncertainty, but each step forward reinforces your confidence. Patience allows you to embrace the journey and trust the process, knowing that self-trust is a lifelong practice that deepens with time. Developing self-trust also involves nurturing your relationship with yourself. This includes practicing self-compassion, setting realistic expectations, and prioritizing self-care. When you treat yourself with kindness and respect, you create a foundation of trust that supports your growth and resilience. This relationship becomes a source of strength and stability, empowering you to navigate life's challenges with confidence. Another powerful practice for strengthening self-trust is journaling. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and decisions provides a space for reflection and self-discovery. It allows you to track your progress, identify patterns, and gain insight into your decision-making process. Journaling also serves as a reminder of your growth and resilience, reinforcing your belief in your ability to handle life's uncertainties. Trusting yourself involves embracing uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and no decision comes with guaranteed outcomes. Self-trust is not about eliminating doubt, but about having the confidence to navigate uncertainty with courage and clarity. It's about believing in your ability to adapt and thrive, regardless of the challenges you face. This mindset transforms fear of the unknown into an opportunity for growth and exploration. Self-trust also involves cultivating a sense of inner peace. When you trust yourself, you no longer need to seek validation or approval from others. This independence creates a sense of freedom and contentment that enhances every aspect of your life. It allows you to approach relationships, work, and challenges with confidence and authenticity, knowing that your decisions are guided by your inner wisdom. As you deepen your self-trust, you'll notice its ripple effects on other areas of your life. Your relationships become more balanced and fulfilling because you approach them from a place of self-assurance rather than neediness. Your goals become more meaningful because they are driven by your values and aspirations rather than external pressures. And your sense of peace and fulfillment grows because you are living in alignment with your true self. Mastering self-trust is not a destination, but a continuous journey. It requires patience, reflection, and a willingness to embrace your imperfections. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you trust yourself, you unlock a sense of freedom, confidence, and resilience that transforms how you experience life. You become your own best advisor, guided by your inner wisdom and empowered to create a life that reflects your values and aspirations. This is the power of self-trust, a foundation for a life of authenticity, purpose, and fulfillment. Trusting yourself creates a solid foundation for independence, but there's often one lingering thread that pulls at even the most self-assured among us: the need for validation. It's subtle, yet powerful, shaping decisions, behaviors, and even how we perceive ourselves. The desire for approval can feel like an invisible chain, binding your sense of worth to the opinions of others. Letting go of this need is not about rejecting connection or ignoring feedback. It's about reclaiming your autonomy and learning to stand confidently in your own truth. Let's explore how to release this reliance and step into a life of true freedom. The need for validation is deeply rooted in human nature. From childhood, approval often signifies safety, acceptance, and belonging. Over time, these external affirmations can evolve into a dependency, where worth is measured by how others perceive you. This dependency is subtle at first, seeking reassurance on a decision, longing for praise, or craving acknowledgement. But over time, it grows, silently dictating choices and stifling your authentic voice. Releasing this need requires unlearning years of conditioning and redefining where your sense of worth truly lies. The first step in letting go of validation is recognizing how it operates in your life. Take a moment to reflect on the decisions you've made recently. How many were influenced by a desire to impress, appease, or gain approval? Awareness is crucial because you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Once you identify these patterns, you can begin to challenge them, replacing them with choices rooted in your values rather than external expectations. Releasing the need for validation involves understanding its underlying fear, the fear of rejection. At its core, seeking approval is an attempt to avoid judgment or exclusion. This fear often leads to self-censorship, where you hold back your opinions, dreams, or even your personality to fit into a mold that others deem acceptable. Confronting this fear head-on is liberating. By accepting that not everyone will agree with or like you, you free yourself from the exhausting pursuit of pleasing others. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or disconnected, but embracing the reality that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. One powerful way to dismantle the need for validation is by cultivating self-acceptance. Self-acceptance means acknowledging your strengths, weaknesses, and everything in between without seeking external confirmation. It's about embracing who you are, even when it feels imperfect. This internal affirmation creates a buffer against the influence of external opinions. When you validate yourself, the approval of others becomes a bonus, not a necessity. To build self-acceptance, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. When you make mistakes or face criticism, resist the urge to judge yourself harshly. Instead, remind yourself that imperfection is part of being human. This shift in perspective strengthens your resilience and reduces the power that external validation holds over you. Another essential practice is learning to value process over outcome. The need for validation often ties worth to results, achievements, recognition, or success. By focusing on the effort and growth involved in any endeavor, you shift your attention away from seeking approval and toward personal fulfillment. This mindset allows you to find satisfaction in the journey rather than relying on external praise to feel accomplished. Setting boundaries is also crucial in letting go of validation. Often, the need for approval leads to overcommitting or agreeing to things that don't align with your priorities. Setting clear boundaries helps you prioritize your needs and values, creating space to live authentically. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about defining where your influence ends and others' expectations begin. By honoring your boundaries, you reinforce the message that your worth is not up for negotiation. Building inner confidence is another powerful way to break free from the validation trap. Confidence comes from consistent action and self-trust, not from external recognition. Each time you make a decision aligned with your values, even in the face of potential disapproval, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Over time, this confidence grows, creating a strong foundation that external opinions cannot shake. Mindfulness is a valuable tool in this journey. When you are mindful, you become aware of your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This awareness helps you recognize moments when the need for validation arises and gives you the space to choose a different response. Mindfulness also reduces the influence of automatic patterns, allowing you to act intentionally rather than reactively. Gratitude is another practice that helps diminish the need for validation. By focusing on what you have and what you appreciate about yourself and your life, you shift your attention away from what's missing or what others might think. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance, reducing the tendency to seek approval as a way to fill perceived gaps. It grounds you in the present moment, where your intrinsic worth becomes more evident. Letting go of validation also involves redefining success. Success is often viewed through the lens of societal standards, titles, accolades, or external achievements. But true success is deeply personal. It's about living in alignment with your values, pursuing what brings you joy, and contributing to the world in a way that feels meaningful to you. By defining success on your own terms, you reclaim the power to determine your worth. Another transformative practice is embracing vulnerability. The need for validation often stems from a fear of being seen as flawed or inadequate. Vulnerability challenges this fear by allowing you to show up authentically, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's about being honest with yourself and others, sharing your truth without the need for approval. Vulnerability fosters deeper connections and reinforces the belief that your worth is not tied to perfection. As you release the need for validation, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. Interactions become more authentic and less transactional. Instead of seeking approval, you engage with others from a place of self-assurance, creating deeper and more meaningful connections. This authenticity invites others to do the same, fostering mutual respect and trust. Letting go of validation is not about rejecting feedback or ignoring others' perspectives. It's about discerning when feedback is constructive and when it's driven by external expectations. Constructive feedback helps you grow and align more closely with your values, while approval-seeking feedback often leads to compromise and disconnection from yourself. By approaching feedback with curiosity rather than attachment, you can extract valuable insights without losing your sense of self. This journey also involves embracing the concept of enough. The need for validation often arises from a belief that you are not enough as you are. This belief fuels comparison, striving, and a constant search for external affirmation. Embracing your inherent worth allows you to let go of these pressures and live with greater peace and contentment. You are enough simply by being, not because of what you achieve or how others perceive you. Letting go of validation doesn't mean you stop caring about others or their opinions. It means you stop letting those opinions define you. It's about finding a balance where you can value connection and community without compromising your autonomy. This balance creates a sense of freedom and independence that allows you to live authentically and pursue your true desires. As you progress on this path, you'll discover a profound sense of liberation. The weight of seeking approval lifts, replaced by a lightness that comes from living in alignment with your values. You'll find that your decisions, actions, and relationships become more intentional and fulfilling. This is the freedom of letting go of validation, a life guided by your inner compass, not the shifting winds of others' opinions. It's a journey of reclaiming your worth, living authentically, and discovering the peace that comes from being unapologetically yourself. Letting go of the need for validation creates a profound sense of freedom, but it also reshapes the way you approach relationships. When your self-worth is no longer tied to the approval of others, you begin to see your connections with fresh clarity. The desire to please or seek affirmation fades, leaving room for something much deeper: authenticity. This newfound clarity invites an important question: which relationships truly enrich your life, and which merely drain your energy? The power of minimalist relationships lies in the answer, teaching us to cultivate meaningful bonds while releasing those that no longer serve our growth. Let's explore how refining your connections can lead to a more fulfilling life. Relationships shape so much of your daily experience, from your mood to your priorities and even your sense of identity. Yet, not all relationships are created equal. Some uplift you, encouraging growth and joy, while others create stress, drain your energy, or even hold you back. The concept of minimalist relationships is not about cutting people off indiscriminately or isolating yourself. Instead, it's about creating space for quality over quantity. It's about choosing depth, mutual respect, and genuine connection over superficial or toxic ties. Streamlining your relationships begins with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on how your interactions make you feel. Which relationships leave you feeling energized, supported, and understood? Which ones drain your emotional reserves or cause frustration? This honest assessment is the foundation of minimalist relationships. It's not about assigning blame, but about recognizing where your energy is best spent and where boundaries may need to be set. One of the key principles of minimalist relationships is mutuality. Healthy connections are built on a balance of giving and receiving. If a relationship feels one-sided, with one person consistently taking while the other gives, it can become a source of resentment and exhaustion. Mutual respect and effort are essential for a relationship to thrive. By prioritizing connections where both parties contribute equally, you create a network of relationships that feels enriching rather than depleting. Another important aspect of minimalist relationships is alignment. People grow and change, and sometimes relationships no longer align with your values or priorities. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you is not an act of cruelty, but of self-respect. It creates space for new connections that reflect your current self. Releasing these ties can be difficult, especially if they are long-standing, but it is a necessary step toward creating a life filled with meaningful relationships. Minimalist relationships also involve embracing the power of boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines that protect your energy and well-being. Setting boundaries helps you navigate relationships with clarity and confidence, ensuring that your needs and values are respected. For example, limiting your availability to people who drain you emotionally or saying no to requests that feel overwhelming are acts of self-care that preserve your peace. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you, fostering healthier and more balanced interactions. Another benefit of minimalist relationships is the deepening of connection. When you focus on fewer relationships, you have the time and energy to nurture them more fully. These deeper connections bring a sense of security, trust, and belonging that superficial ties cannot offer. Investing in meaningful relationships enriches your life in ways that go far beyond surface-level interactions. Minimalist relationships also encourage authenticity. When you let go of the need to maintain numerous connections, you free yourself to be genuine in the relationships that truly matter. Authenticity allows you to show up as your true self, without the pressure to conform or impress. This honesty deepens your bonds and fosters a sense of mutual understanding and respect. Another key element of minimalist relationships is intentionality. Rather than letting relationships evolve passively, take an active role in shaping them. Choose connections that align with your values, aspirations, and priorities. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and celebrate your successes. By being intentional, you create a network of relationships that feels purposeful and fulfilling. Letting go of toxic relationships is another important step in embracing minimalist connections. Toxic relationships are those that consistently bring negativity, manipulation, or disrespect into your life. These connections can undermine your confidence, distort your sense of self, and drain your emotional energy. Releasing toxic relationships is an act of self-preservation. It creates room for healthier connections and allows you to focus on relationships that uplift and support you. Minimalist relationships also involve embracing solitude. Being comfortable with your own company reduces the need to fill every gap in your life with social interaction. This comfort with solitude allows you to be more discerning in your connections, choosing quality over quantity. Solitude also strengthens your sense of self, making it easier to navigate relationships with confidence and clarity. Another profound aspect of minimalist relationships is gratitude. By focusing on fewer, more meaningful connections, you cultivate a deeper appreciation for the people in your life. Gratitude enhances your interactions, bringing warmth and positivity to your relationships. It also reminds you of the value of the connections you have, reducing the urge to seek validation or fulfillment from less meaningful ties. Minimalist relationships also encourage personal growth. When you surround yourself with people who share your values and aspirations, their influence inspires and motivates you. These relationships challenge you to grow while providing the support and encouragement needed to navigate change. By prioritizing connections that foster growth, you create a network that enriches your life and aligns with your goals. Another benefit of minimalist relationships is the clarity they bring. By reducing the noise of superficial connections, you gain a clearer perspective on your priorities and values. This clarity extends to all areas of your life, helping you make decisions that align with your authentic self. It also reduces the stress and overwhelm that often come with maintaining numerous, shallow relationships. Minimalist relationships also emphasize the importance of presence. When you focus on fewer connections, you can be fully present in your interactions. This presence deepens your relationships and creates a sense of intimacy and trust. It also enhances your ability to listen, understand, and empathize, strengthening your bonds with others. The practice of minimalist relationships is not about perfection, but about alignment. It's about creating a life that reflects your values, priorities, and authentic self. This process requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. But the reward is profound. A life filled with meaningful connections, personal growth, and a sense of peace and fulfillment. As you embrace minimalist relationships, you'll find that your life feels lighter and more purposeful. The weight of unnecessary obligations lifts, replaced by the richness of genuine connection. Your relationships become a source of joy and inspiration, reflecting the best of who you are. This is the power of minimalist relationships, a way to live more fully, authentically, and intentionally. Refining your relationships allows space for deeper connections and greater clarity, but even the most supportive network cannot shield you from life's inevitable challenges. There will be moments when you must stand alone, facing difficulties without leaning too heavily on others. Emotional resilience is what transforms these moments from overwhelming to empowering. It's the inner strength that allows you to navigate adversity with calm, clarity, and confidence. Let's explore how Stoic strategies can help you cultivate this resilience, equipping you to handle life's challenges without becoming dependent on external support. Emotional resilience begins with accepting that challenges are a natural part of life. Resisting difficulties often amplifies their weight, creating unnecessary suffering. The Stoics emphasize the importance of embracing reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. This mindset doesn't mean passive acceptance, but rather a shift in focus. By acknowledging what is within your control and releasing attachment to what is not, you free yourself from the mental turmoil that comes from fighting the inevitable. One of the foundational Stoic principles for resilience is the dichotomy of control. This concept teaches that while you cannot control external events, you can always control your response to them. When faced with adversity, this perspective shifts your attention from the problem to your own actions and attitudes. For example, if a sudden loss disrupts your plans, the dichotomy of control encourages you to focus on how you adapt rather than lamenting the disruption itself. This shift empowers you to act constructively, even in challenging circumstances. Developing emotional resilience also requires cultivating a strong inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself in difficult moments can either build you up or tear you down. Stoicism teaches the importance of rational self-talk, replacing negative or catastrophic thoughts with balanced and constructive ones. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," remind yourself, "I've faced challenges before and found a way through. This is no different." Rational self-talk reinforces your ability to stay grounded and approach problems with a clear mind. Another powerful Stoic strategy is premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. This practice involves mentally preparing for potential challenges by envisioning worst-case scenarios. Far from being pessimistic, this exercise helps you confront fears head-on and develop strategies for handling them. By imagining adversity before it occurs, you reduce its emotional impact and increase your readiness to respond effectively. This foresight builds confidence in your ability to face whatever life brings. Resilience also thrives on perspective. The Stoics emphasize the importance of viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. Adversity often feels overwhelming because it narrows your focus, making the problem seem insurmountable. By stepping back and considering the bigger picture, you gain a more balanced perspective. Challenges become lessons, and setbacks become stepping stones. This mindset transforms difficulties into catalysts for personal development. Gratitude is another Stoic tool for emotional strength. While it may seem counterintuitive to practice gratitude in the face of hardship, this mindset shift can be transformative. Gratitude redirects your focus from what is lost or difficult to what remains, and what is possible. Even in adversity, there are aspects of life to appreciate: supportive relationships, personal strengths, or opportunities for growth. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance and fortitude, reducing the weight of challenges. Developing emotional resilience also involves building mental toughness through deliberate discomfort. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, such as fasting or enduring cold, to strengthen their ability to handle adversity. By intentionally stepping outside your comfort zone, you train your mind to tolerate discomfort without panic or resistance. This practice translates to greater resilience in real-life challenges, as you become more accustomed to navigating difficulties with composure. Another critical aspect of Stoic resilience is emotional regulation. Life's challenges often provoke intense emotions, from anger to fear to sadness. Stoicism doesn't advocate suppressing these feelings, but rather understanding and managing them. By observing your emotions without judgment, you create space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or journaling can help you process emotions constructively, maintaining your balance even in turbulent times. Resilience also requires maintaining a sense of purpose. The Stoics believed that having a clear sense of your values and goals provides an anchor in the face of adversity. When challenges arise, reconnecting with your purpose reminds you why you persevere. This clarity not only strengthens your resolve, but also helps you prioritize your actions, focusing on what truly matters rather than being consumed by distractions or setbacks. Another Stoic strategy for resilience is practicing detachment. This doesn't mean apathy or disconnection, but rather an ability to engage with life's challenges without being overwhelmed by them. Detachment allows you to maintain a sense of perspective, understanding that difficulties are temporary and do not define your worth. This mindset fosters emotional stability, enabling you to navigate adversity with grace and composure. Building resilience also involves cultivating patience. Many challenges take time to resolve, and impatience only adds to their difficulty. The Stoics valued patience as a virtue, recognizing that enduring discomfort with grace strengthens character. By practicing patience, you develop the capacity to persevere through hardships without becoming discouraged or reactive. Resilience is further reinforced by a commitment to self-care. Physical health, mental well-being, and emotional stability are interconnected. Taking care of your body through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and sufficient rest supports your ability to handle stress. Similarly, practices like mindfulness, meditation, or creative expression nourish your mental and emotional health, creating a strong foundation for resilience. Stoic resilience also emphasizes the importance of community. While emotional independence is a cornerstone of resilience, the Stoics recognized the value of supportive relationships. Sharing experiences, seeking advice, or simply feeling understood can provide strength during difficult times. Resilience doesn't mean facing everything alone. It means knowing when to lean on others while still maintaining your inner balance. Another key to emotional resilience is embracing change. Challenges often arise from unexpected shifts: losing a job, ending a relationship, or facing new responsibilities. Resistance to change creates additional stress, while acceptance allows you to adapt and grow. The Stoics taught that change is a natural part of life, and that embracing it with curiosity and openness fosters resilience. This mindset transforms uncertainty into opportunity, helping you navigate transitions with confidence. Resilience involves celebrating small victories. Overcoming challenges is rarely a single act, but a series of steps. Recognizing and appreciating each step forward reinforces your confidence and motivation. These small wins remind you of your strength and progress, even in the face of larger challenges. This practice builds momentum, transforming adversity into a journey of growth and empowerment. As you incorporate these Stoic strategies, emotional resilience becomes less about enduring challenges and more about thriving through them. You learn to face adversity with calm, clarity, and confidence, knowing that your strength comes from within. This resilience not only empowers you to handle life's uncertainties, but also enriches your experience of life itself, bringing a sense of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. Resilience equips you to face challenges with strength and clarity, but growth requires more than simply enduring life's trials. It calls for understanding them. The ability to turn inward and examine your choices, emotions, and patterns with honesty is what transforms experiences into lessons. Self-reflection is not a passive act. It's a deliberate practice of stepping back, observing, and aligning your actions with your deeper values. Through this lens, even the most ordinary moments become opportunities for profound growth. Let's delve into how Stoic techniques can help you master self-reflection and unlock the ultimate tool for personal transformation. Self-reflection begins with creating space for introspection. In a world filled with distractions and demands, time for stillness and thought is often neglected. The Stoics recognize the power of pausing to evaluate their days, decisions, and emotions. By dedicating moments to intentional reflection, you allow yourself to observe your life with clarity. This doesn't require hours of meditation. Even a few minutes of thoughtful solitude can reveal insights that guide your growth. The foundation of effective self-reflection lies in honesty. True growth comes from confronting not only your strengths, but also your weaknesses, biases, and missteps. This can feel uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step toward self-awareness. The Stoics practiced brutal honesty with themselves, recognizing that self-deception hinders progress. Embracing this practice allows you to see yourself clearly, free from illusions or defensiveness. It's not about self-criticism, but about understanding where you stand and where you can improve. One of the most powerful tools for self-reflection is journaling. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius famously wrote his thoughts in what would become meditations, not for others, but as a way to explore his inner world. Journaling creates a space where you can capture your thoughts, emotions, and experiences without judgment. Writing allows you to organize your reflections, identify patterns, and gain deeper insights into your life. Over time, these records become a roadmap of your growth, showing how far you've come and guiding your next steps. Self-reflection also involves questioning your assumptions. Many beliefs and behaviors operate on autopilot, shaped by past experiences or societal norms. The Stoics challenged their assumptions regularly, asking whether their thoughts and actions aligned with reason and virtue. By questioning your own narratives, you uncover hidden biases or limitations that may be holding you back. This practice fosters open-mindedness and helps you approach life with curiosity and intentionality. Another key aspect of self-reflection is identifying your values. Without a clear understanding of what matters most to you, it's easy to drift through life, reacting to circumstances rather than living intentionally. The Stoics emphasized living in alignment with one's core principles as the path to a meaningful life. Reflect on what truly drives you, whether it's integrity, compassion, growth, or something else, and use these values as a compass to guide your decisions and actions. Self-reflection also includes examining your emotional responses. Emotions are valuable indicators, but they can also cloud judgment or lead to impulsive actions. By reflecting on your feelings, you can better understand their triggers and root causes. The Stoics practiced emotional regulation by observing their emotions without becoming consumed by them. This detachment allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, fostering greater control and insight. Another practice rooted in Stoicism is reviewing your day. At the end of each day, reflect on your actions, decisions, and interactions. Ask yourself what went well, what could have been handled differently, and what lessons you can take forward. This daily exercise keeps you accountable and ensures that growth remains a consistent focus. It's not about dwelling on mistakes, but about learning from them and striving to improve each day. Self-reflection also involves embracing vulnerability. Growth requires a willingness to face uncomfortable truths and confront areas where you may have fallen short. This vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength that opens the door to deeper understanding and change. By being honest with yourself about your fears, insecurities, and challenges, you create space for transformation. Another aspect of self-reflection is setting goals that align with your growth. The Stoics believed in focusing on what is within your control while letting go of what isn't. Reflecting on your goals helps you ensure that they are realistic, meaningful, and rooted in your values. It also allows you to track your progress and make adjustments as needed. This intentional approach keeps you aligned with your path and fosters a sense of purpose. Self-reflection also enhances relationships. By examining how you interact with others, you gain insight into your communication patterns, boundaries, and areas for improvement. This awareness allows you to approach relationships with greater empathy, authenticity, and understanding. It also helps you recognize where adjustments are needed to foster healthier and more fulfilling connections. Another dimension of self-reflection is recognizing your achievements. Growth is often gradual, and it's easy to overlook progress when focused solely on what's next. Take time to celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small. This practice reinforces your confidence, motivation, and sense of self-worth. Acknowledging your growth reminds you that change is possible and that your efforts are making a difference. Self-reflection also involves cultivating gratitude. Reflecting on what you appreciate in your life shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude fosters a positive mindset and deepens your connection to the present moment. It also enhances your resilience, helping you navigate challenges with grace and optimism. By reflecting on the blessings in your life, you strengthen your ability to approach each day with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Another powerful element of self-reflection is learning from adversity. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but they also hold valuable lessons. Reflecting on how you've navigated difficulties in the past provides insight into your strengths and areas for growth. It also helps you approach future challenges with greater confidence and resilience. The Stoics viewed adversity as an opportunity for character development, and this perspective can transform how you see obstacles in your own life. Self-reflection also requires balancing self-awareness with self-compassion. While it's important to hold yourself accountable, it's equally important to approach yourself with kindness and understanding. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive environment for reflection and change, free from the weight of judgment or guilt. Over time, self-reflection becomes a habit that permeates every aspect of your life. It helps you make decisions with greater clarity, approach challenges with resilience, and live in alignment with your values. It's not a one-time exercise, but an ongoing practice that deepens your understanding of yourself and your path. The ultimate power of self-reflection lies in its ability to transform not only how you see yourself, but also how you engage with the world. It empowers you to grow, adapt, and thrive, turning each moment into an opportunity for learning and improvement. This is the gift of self-reflection, a tool for unlocking your potential and creating a life of authenticity, purpose, and fulfillment. Self-reflection unveils the layers of your inner world, revealing the strengths, values, and lessons that shape your growth. But as you explore this path of self-discovery, there is a powerful force that binds it all together: gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, creating a sense of abundance that no external source can replicate. It diminishes the urge for validation and strengthens the foundation of inner fulfillment. Let's delve into how gratitude can transform your perspective and enrich your life in ways that go far beyond material or external affirmation. Gratitude is more than a polite thank you. It is a profound recognition of the goodness in your life, no matter how small. It is the act of consciously noticing and appreciating the things that bring joy, comfort, or growth. When practiced consistently, gratitude rewires your mindset, training your focus on what you have rather than what you lack. This shift reduces the endless pursuit of external affirmation, fostering contentment and peace. One of the most significant effects of gratitude is its ability to anchor you in the present moment. In a culture that often glorifies striving and achievement, it's easy to become consumed by the desire for more success, more recognition, more possessions. Gratitude interrupts this cycle by redirecting your attention to what already exists in your life. This practice grounds you, reminding you that fulfillment is not a distant goal, but something that can be cultivated right now. Gratitude also nurtures emotional resilience. Life's challenges can create a sense of loss, disappointment, or frustration, but gratitude provides a counterbalance. By focusing on what remains or what has been gained through adversity, you develop a perspective that strengthens your ability to endure difficulties. This perspective doesn't deny pain or struggle. Instead, it highlights the silver linings and lessons that can coexist with hardship. Another transformative aspect of gratitude is its impact on self-worth. The constant need for external affirmation often stems from a belief that you are not enough as you are. Gratitude shifts this narrative by highlighting the richness of your life and the strengths you already possess. As you practice gratitude, you begin to see yourself as whole and capable, reducing the need for others to validate your worth. This inner assurance fosters a deep sense of fulfillment that is independent of external circumstances. Gratitude also enhances your relationships. When you appreciate the people in your life, you strengthen your connection with them. Expressing gratitude fosters mutual respect and deepens bonds, creating relationships that are rooted in genuine care and support. This practice not only enriches your interactions, but also reminds you of the value of community and connection. Another profound benefit of gratitude is its ability to shift your perspective on success. In a world that often equates success with external achievements, gratitude helps you redefine what it means to be successful. It encourages you to focus on personal growth, meaningful relationships, and the joy of simple moments. This redefinition liberates you from the pressure to meet societal expectations, allowing you to pursue a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Gratitude also invites you to appreciate the ordinary. The rush of daily life can make it easy to overlook the small joys that add richness to your days. A warm cup of coffee, the sound of laughter, or the beauty of a sunset. By cultivating gratitude for these moments, you train your mind to find happiness in the present rather than constantly seeking it elsewhere. This practice creates a sense of contentment that no external achievement can provide. Practicing gratitude also reduces comparison. The urge to compare yourself to others often stems from a focus on what you lack compared to what others have. Gratitude shifts this focus, helping you recognize the unique blessings in your own life. This shift not only diminishes envy, but also fosters a sense of abundance, reminding you that fulfillment is not a competition, but a personal journey. Gratitude also plays a powerful role in mental and physical well-being. Research shows that practicing gratitude can reduce stress, improve sleep, and boost overall happiness. These benefits stem from the way gratitude rewires your brain, encouraging positive thinking and reducing the impact of negative emotions. By focusing on what you are thankful for, you create a sense of calm and stability that supports both your mental and physical health. A meaningful way to deepen your practice of gratitude is through intentional rituals. Keeping a gratitude journal, for instance, allows you to record and reflect on the things you appreciate each day. This practice reinforces the habit of noticing and valuing the positive aspects of your life. Similarly, taking a moment each day to express gratitude, whether silently, in writing, or to others, creates a sense of connection and purpose. Gratitude also encourages humility. By acknowledging the contributions of others and the gifts you have received, you develop a greater appreciation for the interconnectedness of life. This perspective reduces entitlement and fosters a sense of reverence for the world around you. Humility grounded in gratitude creates a deeper sense of fulfillment, reminding you that you are part of something larger than yourself. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to inspire action. When you are deeply aware of the blessings in your life, you are more likely to share those blessings with others. Gratitude fuels generosity, encouraging acts of kindness that ripple outward and create a positive impact. This cycle of giving and gratitude enriches both the giver and the receiver, fostering a sense of purpose and connection. Gratitude also helps you navigate change with grace. Life is filled with transitions, and even positive changes can bring uncertainty or loss. Gratitude provides a steady foundation during these times, reminding you of the constants in your life and the opportunities that change can bring. This perspective allows you to embrace new chapters with curiosity and optimism, rather than fear or resistance. Another significant benefit of gratitude is its role in fostering self-awareness. As you reflect on what you appreciate, you gain insight into your values, priorities, and sources of joy. This awareness helps you make choices that align with your authentic self, creating a life that feels more meaningful and intentional. Gratitude becomes a compass, guiding you toward what truly matters. Gratitude also strengthens your relationship with time. By focusing on the present moment, you reduce the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. This presence allows you to savor experiences fully, making your days feel richer and more fulfilling. Gratitude transforms time from a source of stress into a canvas for appreciation and joy. Gratitude fosters hope. By recognizing the good in your life, even during difficult times, you create a sense of optimism about the future. This hope is not blind positivity, but a grounded belief in your ability to find meaning and growth in any situation. Gratitude becomes a source of strength, reminding you that fulfillment is not something you chase, but something you cultivate within. As you embrace the practice of gratitude, you'll discover its transformative power in every aspect of your life. It shifts your focus, deepens your relationships, enhances your well-being, and connects you to a sense of purpose. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a way of being that opens the door to inner fulfillment and enriches your experience of the world. This is the gift of gratitude, a simple yet profound practice that changes everything. Gratitude unlocks a sense of abundance and fulfillment, but there is another barrier that often stands between you and lasting peace: the relentless cycle of overthinking. Thoughts, when left unchecked, can spiral into doubts, fears, and anxieties that cloud your emotional world. The mind, meant to be a tool for clarity, becomes a maze of indecision and worry. Breaking free from overthinking is not about silencing the mind completely, but about simplifying its processes, creating a space where clarity and peace can thrive. Using Stoic principles, let's explore how you can declutter your thoughts and find the mental calm you deserve. Overthinking often begins with the illusion of control. The mind replays scenarios, seeks answers to uncertainties, and crafts hypothetical outcomes, all in an attempt to avoid discomfort. Stoicism teaches that while you cannot control external events, you can always control your response to them. This principle shifts your focus from trying to predict or prevent every possible outcome to managing your thoughts and actions in the present moment. Recognizing that you cannot control everything reduces the mental clutter caused by overanalyzing situations beyond your influence. Simplifying your emotional world starts with understanding the nature of your thoughts. Not every thought deserves attention or action. Stoicism encourages you to view your thoughts as passing clouds, observing them without attachment. This practice creates distance between you and your mental chatter, allowing you to identify which thoughts serve you and which only add to your stress. By distinguishing between useful reflections and unnecessary ruminations, you gain control over your mental landscape. Another Stoic tool for overcoming overthinking is the practice of rational detachment. When emotions run high, they often distort your perception of events, making problems seem larger or more complex than they are. Detachment helps you step back and assess the situation objectively, separating facts from feelings. This perspective enables you to approach challenges with clarity and composure, reducing the tendency to overthink or catastrophize. Overthinking is also fueled by perfectionism, the belief that every decision must be flawless and every action must lead to success. This mindset creates an endless loop of doubt and second-guessing. Stoicism offers a liberating alternative: focus on effort rather than outcome. By committing to doing your best within your sphere of control, you release the pressure to achieve perfection. This shift not only reduces overthinking, but also fosters a sense of accomplishment and progress. Another strategy to simplify your emotional world is practicing the art of letting go. Many thoughts arise from clinging to past mistakes or fearing future uncertainties. Stoicism emphasizes living in the present moment, where life actually happens. By letting go of regrets and worries, you reclaim mental space for what truly matters. This practice doesn't dismiss the past or future, but places them in perspective, allowing you to approach life with balance and presence. Overthinking often thrives in the absence of clear priorities. When everything feels equally important, the mind struggles to make decisions, leading to analysis paralysis. Stoicism encourages you to define your values and focus on what truly matters. By aligning your thoughts and actions with your principles, you simplify your choices and reduce the mental clutter caused by indecision. This clarity creates a sense of purpose and direction, freeing you from the noise of competing demands. Another powerful Stoic practice is the use of intentional pauses. When faced with a challenging situation or a surge of thoughts, taking a moment to breathe and reflect prevents impulsive reactions and overanalysis. These pauses allow you to assess your emotions and thoughts with greater clarity, creating space for intentional responses rather than knee-jerk reactions. This practice fosters emotional resilience and keeps your mental world grounded. Gratitude also plays a role in overcoming overthinking. When the mind is consumed by what's missing or what could go wrong, gratitude redirects your focus to what is present and positive. This shift not only calms the mind, but also reduces the need to dwell on hypothetical scenarios. Gratitude anchors you in the reality of what you have, diminishing the mental clutter caused by endless speculation or comparison. Another key to simplifying your emotional world is setting boundaries with your thoughts. Just as you set boundaries with people to protect your energy, you can set limits on how much time and attention you give to certain thoughts. For example, designate specific times for reflection or problem-solving, and consciously redirect your focus when your mind begins to spiral. These boundaries create a structure that prevents overthinking from taking over your mental space. Developing a routine of self-reflection can also help you manage overthinking. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review your thoughts and experiences. Identify any recurring patterns or concerns and address them with intention. This practice helps you process emotions constructively, preventing them from lingering in your mind and contributing to overthinking. Regular self-reflection also builds self-awareness, equipping you to recognize and interrupt unhelpful thought cycles. Another powerful approach to simplifying your emotional world is embracing uncertainty. Overthinking often stems from a desire to predict or control the future, but Stoicism teaches that uncertainty is a natural part of life. By accepting the unknown as an inevitable aspect of existence, you reduce the mental struggle of trying to resolve every uncertainty. This acceptance fosters a sense of peace and adaptability, enabling you to navigate life with greater ease. Mindfulness is another valuable tool in the Stoic toolkit. By practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to focus on the present moment, rather than wandering into the past or future. This practice helps you observe your thoughts without becoming entangled in them, creating a sense of calm and clarity. Mindfulness reduces the mental clutter that fuels overthinking, allowing you to approach life with greater presence and intentionality. Simplifying your emotional world also involves recognizing the limits of your influence. Many thoughts arise from concerns about how others perceive you or how events will unfold. Stoicism teaches that while you can influence your actions, you cannot control external outcomes or opinions. Embracing this distinction reduces the mental burden of overanalyzing situations beyond your reach, freeing your mind to focus on what you can genuinely impact. Another effective strategy for managing overthinking is cultivating patience. Overthinking often arises from the urge to resolve problems immediately, but not all issues require immediate action or answers. Patience allows you to sit with uncertainty and trust the process, reducing the mental pressure to overanalyze. This practice fosters a sense of calm and confidence, enabling you to approach challenges with greater clarity and intention. Overthinking can also be mitigated by simplifying your environment. External clutter often mirrors internal clutter, and reducing physical distractions can have a calming effect on your mind. Create a space that supports focus and tranquility, whether it's a tidy workspace, a minimalist home, or a quiet corner for reflection. This physical clarity reinforces your mental clarity, helping you navigate your thoughts with greater ease. Self-compassion is a crucial element in overcoming overthinking. The mind often spirals into overanalysis due to self-criticism or fear of failure. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a supportive environment for your thoughts. This compassion reduces the intensity of negative emotions and allows you to approach your mental world with balance and care. It reminds you that overthinking is not a flaw, but an opportunity to learn and grow. As you apply these Stoic principles, you'll find that your mind becomes a space of calm and clarity rather than chaos. Overthinking loses its grip, replaced by intentional thought, presence, and peace. This transformation simplifies your emotional world, creating room for joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Through these practices, you reclaim control of your mind and discover the freedom to live fully and authentically. Overcoming overthinking brings clarity and calm, but clarity alone is not enough in the face of life's inevitable challenges. When crisis strikes, there is often no time to wait for a savior or a solution from the outside. True strength emerges when you learn to rely on yourself, stepping into the role of your own hero. This is not about rejecting help, but about cultivating the inner resilience and resourcefulness to navigate difficulties with courage and confidence. Let's delve into how you can harness self-reliance to become the hero of your own story, solving problems independently and thriving even in the most uncertain times. Relying on yourself begins with trust. Without trust in your abilities, the challenges you face can feel insurmountable. Trust is not something that arrives fully formed. It is built gradually through action and reflection. Start by recognizing the small victories you've already achieved. These moments, where you overcame doubts or navigated obstacles, are proof of your capacity to handle adversity. Reflecting on these past successes reinforces the belief that you're capable of confronting what lies ahead. In times of crisis, clarity is essential. The mind often reacts to stress by magnifying fears and uncertainties, making problems appear larger than they are. Self-reliance involves taking a step back and assessing the situation with a calm, objective lens. Identify what is within your control and what is not, focusing your energy on actionable steps rather than dwelling on the unknown. This clarity transforms chaos into manageable pieces, empowering you to act decisively and effectively. Resourcefulness is another cornerstone of self-reliance. In a crisis, the ability to adapt and find creative solutions can mean the difference between feeling stuck and moving forward. Resourcefulness doesn't require extraordinary skills. It stems from a willingness to think differently and make the most of what you have. Start by evaluating your strengths and tools at hand, considering unconventional approaches or breaking problems into smaller, more manageable tasks. Resourcefulness is a skill that grows with practice, and each small solution reinforces your ability to navigate challenges independently. Crisis often brings an overwhelming sense of uncertainty. Self-reliance teaches you to embrace this uncertainty rather than resist it. Acknowledging that not all answers are immediate or clear reduces the emotional weight of the unknown. This acceptance doesn't mean inaction. It means moving forward with courage, despite incomplete information. Each step you take builds momentum, transforming fear into action and doubt into confidence. Self-reliance also involves cultivating emotional resilience. Crises often provoke intense emotions that can cloud judgment or lead to impulsive decisions. Emotional resilience allows you to process these feelings constructively, maintaining balance and clarity. Techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, or journaling can help you navigate your emotions without becoming overwhelmed. This emotional stability becomes a foundation for rational decision-making and effective problem-solving. Another critical aspect of self-reliance is the ability to prioritize. In moments of crisis, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer number of decisions or actions required. Prioritization helps you focus on what matters most, channeling your energy where it will have the greatest impact. Consider the immediate needs and long-term consequences of each choice, making decisions aligned with your values and goals. This focus not only simplifies your actions, but also reinforces your confidence in your ability to navigate complexity. Self-reliance also means learning to seek knowledge and develop skills independently. In a crisis, the ability to acquire new information or adapt existing skills can be invaluable. Embrace a mindset of continuous learning, approaching challenges as opportunities to grow. This proactive approach not only equips you with practical tools, but also strengthens your belief in your capacity to handle future difficulties. Learning becomes both a means of overcoming crises and a way to build long-term resilience. Boundaries are another essential component of self-reliance. In times of crisis, others' opinions or demands can sometimes amplify stress or confusion. Setting clear boundaries protects your energy and focus, allowing you to make decisions without undue influence. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about creating a space where you can think and act freely. This independence fosters a sense of control and reinforces your ability to rely on yourself. Crisis often brings with it a heightened sense of urgency, but self-reliance teaches the value of patience. Not all problems can be solved immediately, and rushing into action can sometimes lead to mistakes or missed opportunities. Patience allows you to pause, gather information, and consider your options before acting. This measured approach not only improves the quality of your decisions, but also reduces the emotional toll of the crisis. Developing a strong inner dialogue is another key to self-reliance. The way you speak to yourself in difficult moments shapes your confidence and resilience. Replace self-doubt or criticism with affirmations of your capability and strength. Remind yourself that you have faced challenges before and emerged stronger, and that this moment too is an opportunity to grow. A supportive inner dialogue reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome adversity. Self-reliance also involves taking ownership of your choices. In a crisis, it can be tempting to look for external factors or people to blame, but this mindset undermines your power to act. Taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, even in difficult circumstances, reinforces your sense of agency. This ownership empowers you to move forward with clarity and purpose, knowing that you have the ability to shape your path. Another important aspect of self-reliance is adaptability. Crises often require you to change course or reevaluate your approach. Embracing flexibility allows you to navigate shifting circumstances without becoming paralyzed by resistance or frustration. Adaptability is not about abandoning your goals, but about finding new ways to achieve them. This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities, fostering resilience and creativity. Self-reliance also involves cultivating a strong sense of purpose. When you are clear about what matters most to you, it becomes easier to navigate crises with focus and determination. Purpose provides an anchor in turbulent times, reminding you of the larger picture and guiding your actions. Reflect on your values and priorities, using them as a compass to stay grounded and intentional, even in the face of uncertainty. Another powerful aspect of self-reliance is the ability to seek help without dependence. Asking for support is not a sign of weakness. It is an acknowledgement of your humanity and interconnectedness. However, self-reliance ensures that you approach help as a complement to your efforts, not as a replacement for your own agency. This balance creates a sense of partnership rather than dependency, reinforcing your ability to navigate challenges independently. Self-reliance involves cultivating gratitude. Even in the midst of a crisis, there are aspects of life to appreciate: your strengths, your resources, or the lessons the challenge brings. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lost to what remains, fostering a sense of abundance and resilience. This perspective not only lightens the emotional weight of the crisis, but also reinforces your belief in your ability to persevere. As you embrace self-reliance, you'll discover a profound sense of empowerment and freedom. Challenges become opportunities to grow, adapt, and thrive. You become the hero of your own story, navigating crises with courage, clarity, and confidence. This journey is not about eliminating struggle, but about transforming it into a source of strength, creating a life defined by resilience, purpose, and independence. Self-reliance empowers you to navigate life's challenges independently, but true freedom comes when you release the emotional baggage that quietly weighs you down. There are invisible ties, resentments, fears, and unresolved attachments that keep you tethered to the past or others' expectations. These unspoken burdens drain your energy, blur your sense of self, and make it harder to move forward. Emotional minimalism is the practice of letting go of what no longer serves you, creating space for clarity, peace, and renewed strength. Let's explore how you can identify and release these hidden anchors, freeing yourself to live more fully. The first step in emotional minimalism is awareness. Often the emotional weights we carry go unnoticed, buried under the routines and distractions of daily life. Take time to reflect on your emotions and patterns. Ask yourself what consistently drains your energy or stirs unease. This could be lingering anger from a past event, guilt over something unresolved, or the silent pressure of meeting someone else's expectations. By naming these emotions and attachments, you bring them into the light, making it possible to address and release them. One of the most common sources of emotional burden is unresolved conflict. Whether it's a strained relationship, a harsh word left unspoken, or a misunderstanding that was never addressed, these lingering tensions take up mental and emotional space. Resolving conflict doesn't always mean reconciliation. It means finding peace within yourself about what happened. This could involve reaching out for a conversation, writing down your thoughts, or simply deciding to let go of the need for closure. The act of releasing resentment or regret frees you from the grip of the past, allowing you to move forward unencumbered. Another significant drain on emotional energy is the need for validation. When you tie your self-worth to others' opinions or approval, you give away a piece of your autonomy. Emotional minimalism involves recognizing this pattern and reclaiming your sense of self. It's about building inner confidence and detaching from the need to be seen a certain way. Letting go of the pursuit of validation not only simplifies your emotional world, but also strengthens your independence and authenticity. Fear is another hidden weight that often goes unnoticed. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown can create a web of hesitation and self-doubt. Emotional minimalism invites you to confront these fears directly, examining their origins and questioning their validity. Fear loses its power when faced with honesty and courage. As you dismantle these fears, you make room for confidence, curiosity, and action, freeing yourself from the paralysis of worry. Another key to emotional minimalism is learning to release guilt. Guilt can serve a purpose when it prompts you to make amends or learn from mistakes. But when it lingers unnecessarily, it becomes a source of unnecessary suffering. Reflect on what guilt you carry and whether it still holds relevance. If there are actions you can take to resolve it, do so with intention. If not, give yourself permission to let it go. Forgiving yourself is an act of self-compassion that liberates you from the emotional chains of the past. Attachments to certain outcomes or expectations can also create emotional clutter. When you cling too tightly to how things should be, you set yourself up for disappointment and frustration. Emotional minimalism involves releasing these rigid attachments and embracing flexibility. This doesn't mean lowering your standards or giving up on your goals. It means allowing life to unfold without being bound to specific results. This practice fosters resilience and peace, enabling you to adapt gracefully to life's twists and turns. Boundaries are another essential aspect of emotional minimalism. Emotional energy is often drained by relationships or obligations that feel one-sided or overwhelming. Setting clear boundaries protects your emotional well-being and creates space for more balanced and fulfilling connections. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about defining what you need to thrive. They empower you to say no without guilt and prioritize what truly matters to you. Minimalism also extends to your thoughts. Overthinking, self-criticism, and dwelling on negative experiences create unnecessary emotional weight. Practice observing your thoughts without judgment, recognizing which ones serve you and which only add to your stress. Redirect your focus toward constructive or uplifting reflections, and let go of the mental noise that drains your energy. This intentional shift simplifies your inner world and fosters a sense of calm. Letting go of emotional baggage also involves addressing unresolved grief. Loss, whether of a person, opportunity, or phase of life, often leaves behind feelings that are difficult to process. Emotional minimalism encourages you to honor your grief without letting it define you. This might involve creating rituals of closure, seeking support, or finding ways to celebrate what was lost. By integrating grief into your story rather than resisting it, you transform it from a weight into a source of growth. Another powerful aspect of emotional minimalism is simplifying your commitments. Overcommitting or spreading yourself too thin often leads to feelings of overwhelm and resentment. Reflect on where your time and energy are going, and consider whether each commitment aligns with your values and priorities. Saying no to what doesn't serve you creates space for what does, bringing balance and intention to your life. Releasing the need to fix or control others is another significant step in emotional minimalism. It's natural to want to help those you care about, but when this desire turns into an obligation or expectation, it can become emotionally draining. Focus on supporting others without taking responsibility for their choices or outcomes. This approach not only protects your energy, but also empowers others to take ownership of their own lives. Practicing forgiveness is another essential component of emotional minimalism. Holding on to grudges or unresolved anger ties you to the very pain you wish to escape. Forgiveness is not about condoning hurtful behavior. It's about releasing its hold on you. By letting go of the desire for retribution or validation, you reclaim your peace and create space for healing. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, freeing you from the emotional weight of the past. Gratitude also plays a role in emotional minimalism. When you focus on what you appreciate in your life, you naturally shift your attention away from what drains you. Gratitude cultivates a sense of abundance, reminding you of the positives that remain even amid challenges. This perspective not only lightens your emotional load, but also fosters resilience and optimism. Letting go of emotional baggage also involves redefining success. External achievements or comparisons often create unnecessary pressure and self-doubt. Emotional minimalism invites you to define success on your own terms, based on your values and aspirations. By focusing on what truly matters to you, rather than external expectations, you simplify your emotional world and create a sense of fulfillment. As you practice emotional minimalism, you'll notice a shift in how you engage with life. The weight of unresolved emotions, attachments, and expectations lifts, creating space for clarity, joy, and connection. You'll find that your energy is no longer drained by what no longer serves you, leaving you free to invest in what truly matters. This process is not about erasing your emotions, but about transforming your relationship with them, creating a life that feels lighter, more intentional, and deeply fulfilling. Letting go of emotional baggage lightens the weight you carry, but freedom from what drains you is only the beginning. True liberation comes when you step fully into who you are, unapologetically embracing your authentic self. It's about breaking free from the invisible strings of external expectations and living a life aligned with your deepest values. Authenticity isn't just a concept. It's a way of being that transforms how you make decisions, interact with others, and experience the world. Let's explore how living authentically can lead to a life of integrity, fulfillment, and inner peace. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. To live authentically, you first need to understand who you are at your core. This involves exploring your beliefs, values, and passions, as well as recognizing the influences that have shaped you. External voices, whether from society, family, or peers, often blur the line between what you truly want and what others expect of you. By taking time to reflect on your desires and motivations, you start to peel back the layers of external influence, uncovering the essence of your true self. Living authentically also requires courage. The decision to follow your own path can feel daunting, especially when it conflicts with the expectations of those around you. Yet, authenticity is not about rebellion or defiance. It's about alignment. It's about choosing actions and decisions that resonate with your values, even when it feels uncomfortable. This courage is not something you find all at once. It grows with each step you take toward honoring your truth. One of the greatest barriers to authenticity is the fear of judgment. The desire to be liked or accepted often leads to compromises that dilute your true self. Living authentically involves letting go of the need for approval and embracing the reality that not everyone will understand or agree with your choices. This isn't a rejection of others, but a reclamation of your own voice. When you release the weight of others' opinions, you gain the freedom to live in a way that feels honest and fulfilling. Boundaries play a vital role in authentic living. When your values and priorities are clear, setting boundaries becomes an act of self-respect. Boundaries protect your energy and ensure that your actions align with your beliefs rather than being dictated by external pressures. They allow you to engage with others from a place of authenticity, fostering relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. Authenticity also involves embracing imperfection. The pursuit of a polished or idealized image often creates a divide between who you are and who you feel you should be. Living authentically means accepting your flaws and vulnerabilities as part of your unique identity. This acceptance not only brings inner peace, but also invites deeper connections with others as they see and relate to your genuine self. Decision-making is another area where authenticity shines. When faced with choices, it's easy to be swayed by what is popular, expected, or safe. Living authentically means making decisions that align with your values, even when they go against the grain. This doesn't mean dismissing practicality or others' input, but ensuring that your choices reflect your own priorities and principles. Each authentic decision strengthens your sense of self and builds a life that feels deeply meaningful. Authenticity also fosters resilience. When your actions and choices are rooted in your values, you develop a stronger sense of purpose and confidence. This foundation helps you navigate challenges with clarity and determination. Instead of being swayed by external pressures or setbacks, you remain grounded in your beliefs, allowing you to adapt without compromising who you are. Living authentically also means embracing growth. Authenticity is not a fixed state, but an ongoing journey of self-discovery and evolution. As you grow and learn, your values and priorities may shift. Authenticity involves staying true to yourself while being open to change. This balance creates a life that is both stable and dynamic, reflecting the depth and complexity of your true self. Another key aspect of authenticity is finding your voice. Many people suppress their opinions or desires to avoid conflict or fit in. Living authentically means expressing yourself honestly and respectfully, even when it feels uncomfortable. Your voice is a reflection of your identity, and sharing it allows you to connect with others in meaningful ways. This self-expression doesn't mean forcing your views on others. It's about being honest about who you are and what you stand for. Authenticity also invites you to redefine success. External influences often shape our ideas of achievement, pushing us toward goals that may not align with our true desires. Living authentically means creating your own definition of success, one that reflects your values and aspirations. This redefinition liberates you from the pressure to meet others' standards, allowing you to pursue a life that feels deeply satisfying and true to who you are. Gratitude is another powerful tool for authentic living. By appreciating what you have and who you are, you reduce the urge to chase validation or conform to external expectations. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance and contentment, grounding you in the present moment. This perspective not only enhances your sense of self, but also strengthens your ability to make choices that align with your values. Authenticity also transforms relationships. When you live authentically, you attract connections that resonate with your true self. These relationships are built on mutual understanding and respect, free from the pretense or pressure to conform. Authenticity deepens your interactions, creating bonds that are meaningful and lasting. Another aspect of authentic living is finding joy in simplicity. The pursuit of external approval or material success often leads to complexity and stress. Living authentically means focusing on what truly matters, whether it's meaningful work, genuine relationships, or personal growth. This simplicity not only brings clarity, but also enhances your sense of fulfillment. Authenticity also involves practicing self-compassion. The journey to live authentically is not always linear or easy. There will be moments of doubt, missteps, and resistance. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding during these times strengthens your commitment to authenticity. Self-compassion reminds you that living true to yourself is a process, one that requires patience and perseverance. Living authentically also encourages creativity. When you embrace your unique perspective and passions, you unlock a wellspring of inspiration and innovation. Authenticity allows you to explore your creativity without fear of judgment, leading to a richer and more fulfilling life. Whether it's through art, problem-solving, or daily interactions, your authentic self brings a unique contribution to the world. Authenticity brings freedom. By releasing the need to conform or please, you create a life that feels expansive and liberating. This freedom is not about living without responsibility, but about living with intention and alignment. Authenticity allows you to move through the world with confidence and peace, knowing that your actions and choices reflect the person you truly are. As you embrace authenticity, you'll find that life feels more vibrant and meaningful. The noise of external influence fades, replaced by the clarity of your own voice and values. Living authentically is not just a path to personal fulfillment. It is a gift to the world, as your true self inspires and uplifts those around you. This is the power of authenticity, a way of being that transforms not only your life, but also the lives you touch. Authenticity frees you from the weight of external expectations, creating a life that feels uniquely your own. Yet, even with this freedom, the ultimate question remains: where does true happiness reside? It's not in accomplishments, relationships, or material possessions. True happiness comes from within, born from mastering your thoughts, aligning with your values, and releasing dependence on circumstances you cannot control. This inner happiness is the ultimate freedom, a state where peace and joy are no longer tied to what happens around you, but flow steadily from the strength of your mind and heart. Happiness within begins with the realization that external events are neutral. It's not the circumstances themselves that create joy or suffering, but your interpretation of them. The Stoics understood this profoundly, teaching that your perception is the key to your emotional state. When you train yourself to see events as they are, rather than layering them with fears or expectations, you unlock the ability to remain calm and content, regardless of what life brings. This mindset doesn't diminish challenges, but empowers you to respond to them with clarity and grace. Mastering your mind requires cultivating awareness of your thoughts. The human mind is a constant stream of ideas, judgments, and reactions, many of which operate on autopilot. By becoming conscious of your mental patterns, you gain the ability to shape them. Instead of letting negative or unproductive thoughts spiral, you can redirect your focus toward gratitude, solutions, or understanding. This practice not only quiets mental noise, but also strengthens your ability to choose happiness over reaction. Letting go of comparison is another essential step toward finding happiness within. Comparison ties your sense of worth to others' achievements, creating a cycle of envy and dissatisfaction. True happiness comes from appreciating your unique journey and recognizing that no one else's success diminishes your own. By focusing on your growth, values, and accomplishments, you free yourself from the emotional turbulence of comparison and cultivate a lasting sense of fulfillment. Gratitude plays a transformative role in mastering inner happiness. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment, highlighting the beauty and richness of life that often go unnoticed. This practice is not about ignoring difficulties, but about finding the good that coexists with them. Gratitude fosters resilience, making it easier to navigate challenges without losing sight of joy. Another pillar of inner happiness is detachment from outcomes. The pursuit of specific results often leads to anxiety and frustration when things don't go as planned. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means releasing the need to control every detail and trusting in your ability to adapt. By focusing on effort rather than results, you experience a sense of accomplishment regardless of the outcome. This mindset reduces stress and allows happiness to flow from the act of living authentically rather than the end goal. Self-compassion is crucial in the pursuit of inner happiness. The harsh inner critic that judges your mistakes and shortcomings often blocks the path to peace. Self-compassion replaces judgment with understanding, reminding you that imperfection is part of being human. By treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend, you create a supportive inner environment where happiness can flourish. This practice nurtures confidence, resilience, and a deeper connection to yourself. Another key to finding happiness within is simplifying your desires. The constant pursuit of more possessions, achievements, or recognition often leads to discontent. Simplifying your desires doesn't mean giving up on aspirations, but aligning them with what truly matters. Focus on what brings meaning and joy rather than what society dictates you should want. This intentional approach reduces distractions and enhances your sense of fulfillment as your life becomes a reflection of your values rather than external pressures. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating inner happiness. By anchoring yourself in the present moment, you reduce the tendency to dwell on past regrets or future worries. Mindfulness brings awareness to your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, allowing you to experience life fully. This practice fosters a sense of peace and contentment as you learn to appreciate the here and now rather than chasing happiness elsewhere. Inner happiness also involves building emotional resilience. Life is filled with uncertainties and challenges, but your ability to navigate them depends on your mindset. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with strength and perspective. By viewing difficulties as opportunities for growth, you transform them into stepping stones toward greater fulfillment. Resilience reinforces the idea that happiness is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of hope and determination. Forgiveness is another essential aspect of finding happiness within. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret creates emotional baggage that weighs heavily on your sense of peace. Forgiveness is not about condoning harm, but about freeing yourself from its grip. By letting go of what cannot be changed, you create space for healing and happiness to take root. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to reclaim your energy and focus on the present. Living with intention is a cornerstone of inner happiness. When your actions align with your values and priorities, you experience a sense of purpose and harmony. This alignment requires clarity about what truly matters to you and the courage to make decisions that reflect it. Living intentionally reduces the noise of distractions and external influences, allowing you to cultivate a life that feels authentic and deeply rewarding. Connection also plays a role in mastering happiness within, but not in the way society often portrays it. True connection is not about relying on others for validation, but about sharing your authentic self and appreciating others for who they are. These genuine interactions enrich your life without becoming a source of dependency. By building relationships rooted in mutual respect and understanding, you create a supportive network that complements rather than defines your happiness. Another path to inner happiness is embracing the impermanence of life. Clinging to the idea that things must remain the same often leads to fear and resistance. By accepting that change is a natural part of existence, you release the struggle against it. This acceptance fosters adaptability and gratitude, allowing you to appreciate each moment for what it is. Embracing impermanence deepens your sense of presence and enhances your capacity for joy. Letting go of unnecessary expectations is another step toward inner happiness. Expectations often create tension between reality and what you think should happen. By releasing rigid expectations and focusing on what you can control, you free yourself from disappointment and frustration. This practice cultivates flexibility and optimism as you learn to adapt to life's flow without losing your sense of purpose or peace. Inner happiness also requires balancing ambition with contentment. The drive to achieve and improve is a natural part of human growth, but when it becomes all-consuming, it can overshadow the joys of the present. Striking a balance between striving for your goals and appreciating where you are allows you to experience fulfillment on the journey, not just at the destination. This balance creates a life that is both purposeful and peaceful. As you cultivate happiness within, you'll discover that it radiates outward, influencing every aspect of your life. The strength of your mind becomes a foundation for resilience, clarity, and joy. You no longer seek fulfillment in fleeting external circumstances, but find it consistently within yourself. This is the ultimate freedom, the ability to create your own happiness, independent of what happens around you, and to live with a sense of peace that no external force can take away. Finding happiness within provides you with strength and clarity, a foundation for living with intention and peace. Yet, in life's intricate web of connections, knowing when to extend help and when to step back becomes an equally important part of personal growth. Stoicism teaches us that while kindness and generosity are virtues, they must be practiced with wisdom. Helping everyone indiscriminately, without discernment, can lead to unintended harm, both to others and to yourself. There are situations where assistance, however well-intentioned, may enable destructive patterns or undermine your own well-being. Understanding this distinction is essential for living a life of integrity and purpose. Helping others is one of the noblest acts, but when done without boundaries, it can become a drain on your time, energy, and emotional reserves. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of aligning your actions with reason and virtue. This means asking yourself whether your help is truly serving a purpose or simply perpetuating unhealthy behaviors. Not everyone is ready to receive help, and extending support to those unwilling to take responsibility for their actions often results in wasted effort. Recognizing this doesn't mean you lack compassion. It reflects your understanding of what effective help truly looks like. There are individuals who continuously create chaos in their own lives but refuse to take accountability. Offering them assistance may temporarily ease their situation, but it often reinforces their belief that others will always step in to solve their problems. Stoicism encourages you to support those who are genuinely striving to improve themselves, rather than those who repeatedly choose to remain in destructive patterns. Helping someone who refuses to help themselves is not kindness, it's enabling. Another type of person to approach with caution is the manipulator. These individuals may use guilt, charm, or deception to extract help from others for their own gain. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of protecting your own integrity and maintaining clear boundaries. When you recognize manipulation, it's crucial to respond with wisdom and restraint, refusing to be drawn into their games. Helping such individuals often leads to frustration and regret, as their intentions are self-serving rather than aligned with mutual growth or benefit. Those who consistently drain your energy without reciprocation also fall into the category of people you should reconsider helping. Relationships are about balance, and when one person continually takes without giving back, whether emotionally, mentally, or materially, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. Stoicism teaches that your time and energy are finite resources that should be used wisely. It's not selfish to prioritize your well-being. It's an acknowledgement that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Protecting your energy ensures you can continue to help others who truly need and appreciate your support. Individuals who thrive on drama or conflict can also be challenging to assist. These people often create problems or exaggerate situations to draw attention or maintain control. While it may feel compassionate to intervene, engaging with such behavior can entangle you in unnecessary stress and distraction. Stoicism advises focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. In this context, it means recognizing when someone's chaos is not yours to fix and choosing to step back. Another group to approach carefully are those who seek help but refuse to act on it. These individuals may express a desire for change but remain unwilling to take the necessary steps. Offering repeated advice or assistance to someone who resists action not only wastes your energy, but also diminishes their opportunity to learn and grow through their own efforts. Stoicism highlights the importance of self-reliance and accountability, and part of helping others is knowing when to let them find their own strength. It's also important to recognize when someone's requests for help come from a place of entitlement rather than need. Individuals who feel they are owed assistance often lack gratitude and fail to appreciate the effort involved. Helping such people can lead to resentment as their demands grow without acknowledgement or reciprocity. Stoicism reminds us to act with purpose and intention, ensuring that our efforts contribute to meaningful outcomes rather than feeding ungrateful or exploitative attitudes. Those who use your kindness as a means to undermine you should be met with caution. Some people view generosity as weakness and may exploit it for their own advantage. Stoicism teaches the value of discernment, urging you to recognize when your help is being misused. Protecting your integrity and well-being is not selfish. It's a necessary part of living a virtuous and balanced life. Helping others is a cornerstone of human connection and a reflection of your character. However, understanding the nuances of when and how to help is equally important. Stoicism doesn't advocate withholding kindness, but rather exercising it with wisdom and clarity. By recognizing the types of people whose behaviors or intentions may hinder rather than enhance the value of your help, you ensure that your efforts are truly meaningful and impactful. This discernment allows you to channel your energy where it can create lasting, positive change, both for yourself and those who genuinely seek growth and transformation. Understanding who not to help is a crucial part of maintaining your emotional balance and protecting your energy. But even when you set boundaries and practice discernment, there will be times when you encounter toxic people whose behavior threatens your peace. Navigating these relationships is a skill, and Stoicism, particularly the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, offers invaluable guidance for dealing with such individuals. By mastering these principles, you can preserve your composure, protect your well-being, and respond with clarity and strength. Let's explore the strategies that enable you to manage these challenges effectively and maintain your inner calm. Dealing with toxic people begins with recognizing that their behavior is not a reflection of you, but of their own struggles and limitations. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that human beings act according to their understanding and beliefs, even when those beliefs are misguided. This perspective helps you detach emotionally from their actions and avoid taking their behavior personally. Understanding that their negativity stems from their own issues rather than anything you've done allows you to approach them with patience and wisdom rather than frustration or anger. Another essential principle is to focus on what you can control. Toxic individuals often thrive on creating chaos or eliciting emotional reactions. By grounding yourself in the Stoic practice of controlling your responses, you deny them the satisfaction of disrupting your peace. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but choosing to respond intentionally rather than reacting impulsively. Remaining calm and composed in the face of toxicity not only protects your emotional state, but also disarms the other person's attempts to provoke you. Boundaries are a cornerstone of dealing with toxic people. These individuals often test limits, seeking to invade your personal space, manipulate your time, or drain your energy. Setting clear and firm boundaries is an act of self-respect that protects you from their influence. Boundaries are not about pushing others away, but about defining what behaviors you will and will not accept. Communicate your limits assertively but respectfully, ensuring that you maintain control of your interactions without escalating conflict. Marcus Aurelius also emphasizes the power of perspective. Toxic people often draw you into their negativity, making it easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Reminding yourself of your goals, values, and priorities helps you stay focused on what truly matters, rather than being consumed by their drama. Perspective allows you to see their behavior as a small part of your larger journey, reducing its emotional impact and keeping you grounded in your purpose. Practicing empathy can also be a valuable tool in managing toxic relationships. While this may seem counterintuitive, understanding the pain or insecurity that drives someone's toxic behavior can help you approach them with compassion rather than resentment. Empathy doesn't mean excusing their actions, but recognizing their humanity. This mindset allows you to navigate interactions with greater emotional balance, reducing the likelihood of being pulled into their negativity. Detachment is another critical strategy. Toxic people often seek to control others by creating emotional dependency or triggering feelings of guilt or obligation. Stoicism teaches the importance of maintaining emotional independence, allowing you to engage with others without becoming entangled in their issues. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means caring without losing yourself in their struggles. This balance ensures that you can offer support, if appropriate, while protecting your own well-being. Another smart way to deal with toxic people is to limit your exposure to them. While some toxic relationships are unavoidable, such as those in the workplace or family, you can still take steps to minimize their influence. This might involve reducing the time you spend with them, avoiding unnecessary interactions, or creating physical or emotional distance when needed. Limiting exposure not only preserves your energy, but also reinforces your boundaries. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on your own character and actions rather than trying to change others. Toxic people often resist change, and attempting to fix or reform them can lead to frustration and disappointment. Instead, concentrate on maintaining your integrity and acting in alignment with your values. By embodying the principles you hold dear, you serve as a model of strength and composure, regardless of their behavior. Developing resilience is another essential part of dealing with toxic individuals. Resilience allows you to withstand their negativity without internalizing it or letting it affect your sense of self. Building resilience involves strengthening your emotional foundation through practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and self-care. These habits create a buffer against the impact of toxic behavior, enabling you to respond with strength and clarity rather than being overwhelmed. Choosing your battles wisely is another key principle. Toxic people often provoke conflict as a means of control or attention. Engaging in every argument or confrontation only fuels their behavior and drains your energy. Instead, assess whether a particular issue is worth addressing or if it's better to let it go. This selective engagement not only conserves your resources, but also deprives them of the power to disrupt your peace. Another way to neutralize toxicity is by maintaining a positive focus. Toxic individuals often try to pull others into their negative mindset, but by choosing to focus on positivity and solutions, you counteract their influence. This might involve redirecting conversations toward constructive topics, surrounding yourself with supportive people, or practicing gratitude for the positive aspects of your life. Positivity is not about ignoring challenges, but about refusing to let negativity dominate your perspective. Self-care is a non-negotiable part of managing toxic relationships. Toxic people can be emotionally exhausting, and neglecting your own needs only compounds the impact. Prioritize activities that replenish your energy and strengthen your sense of well-being, whether it's spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or practicing relaxation techniques. Self-care is not selfish. It's an essential part of maintaining your capacity to navigate challenging relationships with grace and resilience. By applying these strategies, you not only protect yourself from the effects of toxic behavior, but also cultivate a sense of empowerment and peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our greatest strength lies in our ability to control our own minds and actions, regardless of external circumstances. Dealing with toxic people is not about changing them, but about mastering yourself, ensuring that their negativity cannot disrupt your journey toward a life of purpose and fulfillment. Through these principles, you reclaim your power, preserve your peace, and navigate even the most challenging relationships with wisdom and strength. Navigating toxic relationships requires strength, resilience, and wisdom, but there's an even greater power in cultivating an unspoken influence. True value is not always expressed through words. It is often communicated through action, presence, and authenticity. In Stoicism, being valued without speaking lies in embodying principles that others naturally respect and admire. It's about living in such a way that your integrity, character, and choices speak volumes without the need for explanation. Let's delve into how you can cultivate this silent but profound influence and make an impact without ever uttering a word. Being valued without speaking begins with your actions. Actions are the most authentic representation of your values and intentions. Consistently showing integrity in your decisions and conduct earns respect in ways words cannot. When others see you living according to your principles, they come to trust your reliability and authenticity. Stoicism teaches that actions rooted in virtue, honesty, fairness, courage, create an unshakable foundation for how others perceive you. By focusing on what you do rather than what you say, you demonstrate that your character holds substance. Another powerful way to cultivate value is through the way you carry yourself. Your demeanor communicates confidence and self-respect without the need for verbal reinforcement. A calm, steady presence signals that you are grounded and self-assured. This doesn't mean arrogance, it means exuding an inner peace that draws others toward you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to remain composed, even in the face of adversity, as this composure is a reflection of inner strength. Standing tall, maintaining steady eye contact, and moving with intention convey a quiet authority that speaks louder than words. Discipline is another silent yet impactful quality. People naturally value those who exhibit discipline in their actions, whether it's through their work ethic, their commitment to growth, or their ability to resist distractions. Discipline reflects a mastery over oneself, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. When you consistently show discipline, you communicate that you can be relied upon, trusted, and respected. This quality not only enhances how others view you but also reinforces your own self-worth. Being a good listener is another way to be valued without speaking. Listening is often overlooked, yet it is one of the most powerful forms of communication. When you genuinely listen to others, you show that you respect their thoughts and feelings. This creates a sense of connection and trust that is deeply impactful. By being present and attentive, you foster relationships that are built on mutual understanding rather than the need to dominate conversations or seek validation. Your ability to maintain boundaries also plays a significant role in how others value you. Boundaries communicate self-respect and protect your time and energy. When you set and uphold boundaries, you teach others how to treat you without needing to explain yourself. Boundaries are not about distancing yourself from others, but about creating a space where respect and mutual understanding can thrive. They show that you value yourself, which in turn encourages others to value you. Another way to cultivate value is through consistency. Consistency in your actions and attitudes builds trust, as people come to know they can rely on you. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of steadiness, particularly in the face of challenges. When you remain dependable and steadfast, even under pressure, you demonstrate a level of resilience and commitment that others deeply respect. This quiet reliability fosters an unspoken sense of admiration and trust. Your kindness and generosity also contribute to being valued without speaking. True kindness, practiced without expectation of return, leaves a lasting impression. Stoicism teaches that generosity is a reflection of inner abundance, not a need for external validation. When you help others from a place of genuine care, your actions become a testament to your character. This silent generosity builds goodwill and creates a ripple effect of respect and appreciation. Practicing emotional control is another key to silent influence. Toxic people and difficult situations often provoke emotional reactions, but remaining calm and composed demonstrates a level of mastery that others notice. Emotional control shows that you are not easily swayed by external circumstances, reflecting an inner strength that commands respect. This calm presence allows you to handle conflicts or challenges with grace, further reinforcing your value in the eyes of others. The way you handle success and failure also speaks volumes. Stoicism teaches the importance of humility in both triumph and adversity. When you succeed, sharing credit with others and remaining grounded shows that you value the collective effort over individual glory. Similarly, facing failure with accountability and a willingness to learn demonstrates maturity and resilience. These qualities inspire admiration and trust, as they reflect a balanced and thoughtful approach to life. Your ability to adapt and grow silently communicates a great deal about your character. Life is full of changes and challenges, and your capacity to navigate them with grace and determination inspires others. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of resilience and flexibility, qualities that allow you to face difficulties without being broken by them. This adaptability shows that you are not only strong, but also wise, earning the respect of those around you. Your focus on personal growth also contributes to being valued without speaking. The pursuit of self-improvement reflects a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. This doesn't require grand declarations. The effort and progress you make quietly inspire those who witness it. When others see your dedication to growth, they are often motivated to reflect on their own paths, creating a sense of mutual respect and inspiration. Practicing gratitude is another silent yet profound way to cultivate value. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a sense of contentment and abundance. This attitude of appreciation not only enhances your own happiness, but also radiates positivity to those around you. People are naturally drawn to those who exude a sense of peace and fulfillment, as it reflects an inner strength that is deeply admirable. The legacy you create through your actions speaks volumes. Legacy is not about the material achievements you leave behind, but the impact you have on others through your kindness, integrity, and authenticity. Stoicism teaches that living a virtuous life is the highest goal, and by embodying this principle, you create a legacy that speaks for itself. Your actions become a testament to your values, influencing others long after words are forgotten. By focusing on these principles, you cultivate a silent influence that transcends words. Your character, actions, and presence become a source of inspiration and respect, allowing you to be valued in ways that are profound and lasting. Stoicism reminds us that true power lies not in what we say, but in how we live, and through these practices, you can embody that power in its fullest form. Living a life of value without words requires deliberate action and a strong inner foundation. Yet, even silent influence must be cultivated daily, and how you end each day plays a crucial role in shaping your character and preparing you for the next. Nighttime is a powerful opportunity to reset, reflect, and realign with your principles. Stoic philosophy offers timeless practices to create a nightly routine that grounds you, enhances your resilience, and ensures you wake up ready to face each new day with clarity and purpose. Each evening, your first step is to reflect on the day that has passed. Reflection is a cornerstone of Stoic practice and allows you to evaluate your actions, choices, and responses with honesty. Consider what went well, what could have been improved, and where you may have strayed from your values. This process is not about self-criticism, but about understanding and learning. When you take the time to assess your day, you gain insight into patterns and behaviors, empowering yourself to make meaningful adjustments. Reflection fosters growth, making each day an opportunity to become better than the last. Letting go of the day's stresses is another vital part of a Stoic nighttime routine. The events of the day often leave traces of tension, frustration, or worry, which can accumulate over time if not addressed. Practicing release allows you to unburden your mind and body, creating space for rest and renewal. This can be achieved through simple breathing exercises, meditation, or journaling. Releasing stress not only improves your quality of sleep, but also prevents negative emotions from carrying over into the next day. Gratitude plays an essential role in ending the day on a positive note. Even on challenging days, there is always something to appreciate: a lesson learned, a small kindness, or a moment of beauty. Expressing gratitude shifts your focus from what went wrong to what went right, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. This practice is not about ignoring difficulties, but about balancing your perspective, reminding yourself of the good that coexists with the challenges. Preparing your mind for rest is another important step. The Stoics understood the value of mental clarity and peace, and a cluttered mind can disrupt both rest and resilience. Creating a calm environment and engaging in calming activities, such as reading, stretching, or gentle reflection, signals to your mind that it's time to unwind. Avoiding screens or overstimulating content in the hours before bed helps reduce mental noise, allowing you to transition smoothly into rest. A well-rested mind is better equipped to approach the new day with focus and strength. Another key practice is reaffirming your values and intentions. Before sleep, take a moment to reconnect with what matters most to you. This could involve visualizing your goals, reviewing your guiding principles, or setting an intention for the next day. This practice anchors you in your purpose and provides a sense of direction, even in the face of uncertainty. Reaffirming your values reinforces your commitment to living authentically and intentionally. Simplifying your environment is another practical way to end the day with clarity. The physical spaces you occupy often reflect and influence your mental state. Taking a few minutes to organize your surroundings, whether it's tidying your room, preparing for the next day, or clearing away distractions, creates a sense of order and calm. This simple act reinforces your discipline and sets the tone for a focused and productive start to the morning. Engaging in self-compassion is another important aspect of a Stoic nighttime routine. As you reflect on the day, there may be moments where you fell short of your own expectations. Instead of dwelling on mistakes, practice forgiveness and understanding toward yourself. Acknowledge your humanity and resolve to do better tomorrow. Self-compassion fosters resilience and helps you approach each day with renewed determination, free from the weight of regret. Cultivating a nightly routine rooted in Stoic principles is not about perfection, but about progress. These practices create a sense of closure for the day, ensuring that you rest not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. Over time, this routine becomes a foundation for a life of purpose, balance, and growth. By aligning your nights with your values, you ensure that each day begins with clarity and strength, setting the stage for a life lived in accordance with your highest principles. Closing each day with intention and reflection lays a strong foundation for the next. Yet, in the Stoic pursuit of wisdom and balance, clear thinking becomes an indispensable tool. Marcus Aurelius, with his profound meditations on life and human nature, provides timeless guidance on mastering the art of clarity. The ability to think clearly cuts through noise, doubt, and distraction, enabling you to navigate challenges with reason and purpose. Let us delve deeply into the lessons he imparts on cultivating a mind that sees truth and makes decisions rooted in wisdom. Clear thinking begins with the discipline of simplifying your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of stripping away unnecessary complexity to see things as they truly are. Many problems become magnified not because of their intrinsic difficulty, but because of the layers of interpretation and emotion we attach to them. By focusing only on the facts and separating them from assumptions or fears, you create mental space to assess situations objectively. This practice helps you respond to challenges with reason rather than being overwhelmed by emotional reactions. Another crucial element of clear thinking is recognizing what is within your control. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that much of our mental clutter stems from worrying about things outside our influence. When you focus your energy only on what you can change, you conserve mental resources and reduce stress. This clarity not only enhances decision-making, but also fosters peace of mind, as you learn to accept what cannot be controlled. By narrowing your focus to what truly matters, you eliminate distractions and bring precision to your thoughts. Mindfulness is another key to clarity, as Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on the importance of being present. Clear thinking requires attention to the current moment, rather than being consumed by past regrets or future anxieties. When your mind dwells elsewhere, it becomes fragmented and less effective. By anchoring yourself in the present, you sharpen your ability to analyze, plan, and act with focus. This state of mindfulness enhances not only your clarity, but also your capacity to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. Perspective is also essential for clear thinking. Marcus Aurelius often encouraged stepping back to view situations in a broader context. What seems overwhelming in the moment often loses its power when seen as part of a larger picture. Perspective allows you to weigh the significance of events, prioritize effectively, and maintain emotional balance. By reminding yourself of the impermanence of most challenges, you free your mind from undue stress and approach problems with a calm and rational outlook. Clarity also requires the courage to question your assumptions. Marcus Aurelius taught the value of intellectual humility, acknowledging that our perceptions are often incomplete or biased. Clear thinking involves examining your beliefs, seeking evidence, and remaining open to new information. This practice not only strengthens your reasoning, but also protects you from the pitfalls of rigid thinking. By embracing curiosity and a willingness to learn, you cultivate a mind that is both agile and grounded in truth. Detachment from external validation is another vital aspect of clear thinking. Marcus Aurelius recognized that the desire for approval often clouds judgment and distorts decision-making. When you base your choices on others' opinions, you compromise your clarity and authenticity. True wisdom lies in aligning your actions with your values rather than seeking to please. By letting go of the need for validation, you create mental freedom to think independently and act with integrity. Practicing emotional regulation also sharpens your clarity. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the disruptive power of unchecked emotions and emphasized the importance of mastering them. Clear thinking does not mean suppressing emotions, but understanding and managing them. When you acknowledge your feelings without letting them dictate your actions, you maintain the mental stability needed for sound decisions. This balance between emotion and reason strengthens your ability to navigate even the most challenging situations. Another lesson from Marcus Aurelius is the value of seeking wisdom through self-reflection. Clarity often emerges from introspection as you take the time to examine your thoughts, motivations, and actions. Regular self-reflection allows you to identify patterns, challenge biases, and refine your understanding of yourself and the world. This practice aligns with the Stoic principle of continuous improvement, ensuring that your thinking evolves and remains sharp over time. Discipline is also fundamental to clear thinking. Marcus Aurelius believed that a disciplined mind is a powerful mind, capable of focusing on what truly matters without being swayed by distractions. Discipline involves setting priorities, eliminating unnecessary mental clutter, and committing to habits that strengthen your reasoning. When you cultivate discipline, you create a mental environment where clarity thrives, allowing you to approach life with purpose and precision. Clear thinking also involves balancing logic with compassion. While Marcus Aurelius emphasized rationality, he also understood the importance of empathy and understanding in decision-making. Clarity does not mean cold detachment, but a thoughtful integration of reason and humanity. When you approach problems with both logic and compassion, you arrive at solutions that are not only effective, but also aligned with your values and relationships. The practice of gratitude enhances mental clarity by shifting your focus from lack to abundance. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the gifts of life, even amid challenges. Gratitude fosters a positive and balanced mindset, reducing the tendency to overanalyze or dwell on negativity. By appreciating what you have, you clear the mental fog created by discontent, allowing you to think more clearly and make better decisions. Through these lessons, Marcus Aurelius offers a timeless guide to cultivating clarity in thought and action. By simplifying your thoughts, focusing on what you can control, practicing mindfulness, and embracing perspective, you create a foundation for sound reasoning. Clear thinking is not just a skill, but a way of approaching life that empowers you to navigate challenges with wisdom, resilience, and grace. In mastering this art, you not only enhance your own journey, but also inspire others to seek truth and clarity in their own lives. Clear thinking illuminates the path to understanding yourself and others. However, even when you strive for integrity and wisdom, there may be moments when you encounter unspoken resentment or hostility from others. Stoic philosophy helps you navigate these dynamics with clarity and resilience, offering insights into the reasons behind such emotions and how to address them without compromising your values. Let's explore the underlying causes of hidden animosity and how you can approach these situations with grace and understanding. One reason people may secretly harbor resentment is envy. When others perceive you as successful or possessing qualities they desire but feel they lack, it can create feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. This reaction often stems from their internal struggles rather than anything you've done. By recognizing this, you avoid taking their behavior personally. Stoicism encourages humility, reminding you that your achievements do not define you. Remaining grounded and approachable can diffuse envy as it shifts the focus away from comparison and fosters connection. Perceived arrogance is another trigger for resentment. Confidence can sometimes be misinterpreted as superiority, especially if it's not tempered with empathy and humility. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of humility as a counterbalance to pride. True confidence comes from a quiet assurance in your values and abilities, not from seeking validation or asserting dominance. When you combine confidence with kindness, you create a presence that commands respect without alienating others. Differences in values or beliefs can also lead to friction. People often feel uncomfortable when confronted with perspectives that challenge their worldview. If your actions or principles highlight inconsistencies in their own lives, it may provoke defensiveness or hostility. Stoicism teaches tolerance and understanding, encouraging you to respect others' views without compromising your own. By embodying your values without imposing them, you create a space for mutual respect and reduce the potential for conflict. Another reason people may harbor resentment is unmet expectations. When others project their desires or needs onto you, they may feel disappointed or frustrated if you don't meet them. This dynamic often arises in relationships where boundaries are unclear. Stoicism reminds you to focus on what is within your control, including your own actions and reactions. Setting and communicating clear boundaries helps manage expectations and fosters healthier interactions, reducing the likelihood of resentment. People may also dislike you because they perceive you as a threat. This could be due to competition, insecurity, or a fear of being overshadowed. Stoic philosophy emphasizes collaboration over competition, encouraging you to uplift others rather than seeking to outshine them. By focusing on shared goals and demonstrating a willingness to support others, you transform potential rivalry into opportunities for connection and growth. Misunderstandings are another common cause of hidden animosity. Assumptions, miscommunication, or lack of context can lead to negative perceptions that are not grounded in reality. Stoicism teaches the importance of seeking clarity and giving others the benefit of the doubt. Addressing misunderstandings with patience and open communication can dissolve resentment and build trust. This approach not only resolves tension, but also strengthens your relationships. Some resentment may stem from a fear of change. If your growth or actions challenge the status quo, it can make others feel uncomfortable or left behind. Stoicism encourages compassion and understanding in these situations. Acknowledge their feelings without allowing their resistance to deter you from your path. Leading by example and remaining true to your values often inspires others to embrace their own growth, transforming resistance into admiration over time. Emotional projection is another factor. People often project their insecurities, fears, or unresolved issues onto others as a way of avoiding self-reflection. When someone reacts negatively toward you, it may have more to do with their internal struggles than with your behavior. Stoic philosophy teaches detachment from others' opinions, reminding you that their reactions are not within your control. Responding with empathy and calmness can help diffuse tension and create a space for understanding. Lastly, your authenticity can provoke resentment in those who struggle with their own sense of self. Living authentically highlights the ways in which others may be compromising their values or hiding their true selves. This can trigger discomfort or resentment, as it forces them to confront aspects of their lives they may prefer to ignore. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in alignment with your principles, regardless of others' reactions. By staying true to yourself, you inspire authenticity in others, even if it initially meets resistance. Navigating these dynamics requires a balance of self-awareness, empathy, and resilience. Stoicism provides the tools to understand and manage hidden animosity without letting it disrupt your peace or values. By focusing on your actions and intentions, setting clear boundaries, and practicing compassion, you create a foundation for healthy relationships and personal growth. Through this approach, you not only address the root causes of resentment, but also cultivate an environment of mutual respect and understanding, embodying the principles of Stoic philosophy in every interaction. Understanding why others may harbor resentment provides valuable insight into human behavior and helps foster resilience. However, navigating interactions with influence and clarity requires more than resilience. It calls for mastery of communication and persuasion. Stoic philosophy, paired with psychological insights, offers timeless techniques for guiding others' thoughts and actions without manipulation or force. True persuasion is about understanding human nature, aligning intentions with values, and inspiring trust. This approach not only enhances your relationships, but also ensures your influence is wielded responsibly and effectively. Persuasion begins with understanding the core needs and motivations of others. People are driven by a desire for connection, recognition, and a sense of security. When you acknowledge these needs in your interactions, you create a foundation of trust. This trust forms the basis of influence, as it reassures others that your intentions are aligned with their best interests. Stoicism teaches empathy as a key virtue, reminding you to view situations from others' perspectives. By doing so, you can tailor your communication to resonate with their values and priorities. Another powerful principle of persuasion is reciprocity. When you offer something of value, whether it's assistance, insight, or support, others feel a natural inclination to reciprocate. This psychological principle, rooted in fairness, creates a dynamic where influence flows organically rather than feeling imposed. Offering value without expectation not only strengthens relationships, but also positions you as a trusted and respected figure. Clarity is essential for effective persuasion. People are more likely to be influenced when your message is concise, logical, and free of ambiguity. Clarity not only makes your intentions easier to understand, but also builds confidence in your credibility. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of clear thinking and communication, urging you to present your ideas with precision and purpose. A clear message is not only persuasive, but also demonstrates respect for others' time and attention. Timing is another critical factor in persuasion. The right moment can amplify the impact of your words or actions. Understanding when someone is most receptive to your message requires attentiveness and patience. Stoicism encourages mindfulness, teaching you to remain present and attuned to the dynamics of a situation. By aligning your efforts with the natural flow of events, you maximize your effectiveness without forcing outcomes. Another technique is to appeal to shared values and goals. People are more likely to align with ideas that resonate with their beliefs and aspirations. When you frame your message in terms of mutual benefits, you create a sense of collaboration rather than opposition. Stoic principles of unity and common good underscore the importance of finding common ground, fostering a spirit of cooperation that enhances your persuasive efforts. The use of storytelling is another highly effective method of persuasion. Stories engage emotions and imagination, making ideas more relatable and memorable. A well-told story can illustrate a point more powerfully than facts alone, drawing listeners into your perspective. Stoicism, with its emphasis on human experiences and shared truths, aligns perfectly with the art of storytelling. By weaving your message into a compelling narrative, you captivate attention and inspire action. Another aspect of persuasion is demonstrating credibility and integrity. People are more likely to be influenced by those they respect and trust. Credibility is built through consistent actions, expertise, and honesty. Stoicism's emphasis on virtue reinforces the importance of living in alignment with your principles, as this authenticity strengthens your ability to influence others. When people see that your words and actions are congruent, they're more inclined to follow your lead. Non-verbal communication also plays a significant role in persuasion. Your posture, tone, and facial expressions convey as much, if not more, than your words. A calm and confident demeanor inspires trust and makes your message more persuasive. Stoicism teaches composure and emotional regulation, equipping you to project assurance even in challenging situations. This non-verbal alignment reinforces your credibility and enhances the impact of your communication. Listening actively is another cornerstone of effective persuasion. When people feel heard and understood, they are more open to your ideas. Active listening involves giving full attention, asking thoughtful questions, and reflecting on what is said. This practice not only builds rapport, but also provides valuable insights into others' perspectives. Stoicism's emphasis on understanding others aligns seamlessly with this approach, fostering connections that pave the way for influence. Scarcity is another psychological principle that can enhance persuasion. Highlighting the uniqueness or limited availability of an opportunity creates a sense of urgency and importance. However, it is crucial to use this principle ethically, ensuring that it aligns with the truth of the situation. Stoic philosophy's commitment to honesty reinforces the importance of wielding such techniques responsibly, preserving trust while maximizing impact. Consistency is another critical element. People are more likely to align with ideas or actions that are consistent with their previous commitments. By framing your message in a way that aligns with their existing values or decisions, you create a sense of continuity that feels natural and appealing. Stoicism emphasizes living in harmony with one's principles, which strengthens the authenticity of this approach. Appealing to emotions can also be a powerful tool. While Stoicism values reason, it acknowledges that emotions play a significant role in human behavior. By connecting with others on an emotional level, whether through empathy, inspiration, or reassurance, you create a deeper resonance with your message. Balancing emotion with reason ensures that your influence remains grounded in truth and integrity. Social proof is another effective technique. People often look to the actions and opinions of others when making decisions. Highlighting examples of individuals or groups who have benefited from your perspective or solution adds credibility and encourages alignment. Stoicism's emphasis on community and shared wisdom supports this approach, reinforcing the value of collective experiences. Creating a sense of autonomy is also essential for effective persuasion. People are more likely to embrace ideas when they feel they have made the choice themselves. Presenting options and empowering others to decide fosters a sense of ownership and engagement. Stoicism values self-determination, reminding you to guide rather than control, respecting others' agency in the process. Another technique is to focus on benefits rather than features. Highlighting how an idea or action will positively impact someone's life makes your message more compelling. Stoicism's emphasis on practicality and value aligns with this approach, ensuring that your communication is both relevant and impactful. Patience is another vital aspect of persuasion. Influencing others often requires time and persistence, as change rarely happens overnight. Stoicism teaches the virtue of patience, encouraging you to remain steady and committed to your principles, even in the face of resistance. By giving others the space and time to process your message, you enhance its effectiveness and create lasting change. Humility is the final cornerstone of persuasion. Approaching interactions with a genuine desire to serve and collaborate fosters trust and openness. Stoicism's emphasis on humility and selflessness ensures that your influence is guided by integrity and respect. By prioritizing the greater good over personal gain, you create connections that are both impactful and enduring. By mastering these principles, you cultivate the art of persuasion with wisdom and grace. Each technique, rooted in Stoic philosophy and psychological insight, empowers you to navigate interactions with clarity and purpose. This approach not only enhances your ability to influence others, but also reinforces your own commitment to living virtuously, ensuring that your actions and intentions remain aligned with your highest values. True strength lies in mastering yourself. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered the essence of Stoic philosophy, embracing emotional independence, finding fulfillment within, and aligning your actions with your values. Life's greatest freedom is not needing anyone else to define your worth or happiness. By building resilience, practicing self-reflection, and cultivating clarity, you unlock the power to navigate life with purpose and calm. This transformation is not about isolating yourself, but about fortifying your foundation so that your relationships and interactions are enriched, not dependent. The world becomes less overwhelming when your peace is rooted in yourself. Your mind becomes sharper, your boundaries stronger, and your presence more valuable to yourself and those around you. Which part of this philosophy resonated with you the most? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear how you're applying these lessons to your life. And if you're ready to continue this journey of growth and wisdom, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss a moment of insight and empowerment. Together, let's build a life of unshakable strength and true freedom.